Hello, good evening, good morning, or good night, good time zone to everybody tuning in with us today. Welcome back to the 5th episode of Under the Table, where I have on some of the internet's most interesting people over a round of even more interesting drinks. My guest tonight is the lovely SHYLILY. SHYLILY, please say hello to everybody.
Hello, welcome! What up, sir? Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to get drunk tonight.
She's so polite, isn't she? So, the first question that I ask anybody who comes on this show is, and I know you've already shown me, but please tell, just for the crowd, what will you be drinking tonight?
Okay, so, don't kill me if I butcher the names, because I will. But I specifically asked for 3 things. I never had a sake, so I was like, hit me up with a sake. And this one is called, Ichishima Sake, a 14% one. Something like that. Then I have a white wine without bubbles, and it's called Estrella. Something like that. It's a very sweet white wine, 8.5%. Very fruity. I specifically asked for like really sweet and fruity things. And then I have this hard liquor. It's lychee flavored. I think it's also Japanese. It's called Kwai Fen, a lychee liquor, and it's 20%. So I can mix it.
I see. Oh, yes. That's good. Lychee liquor is really. All of that sounds really, really wonderful. I'm honestly jealous. I woke up like less than an hour ago. I ran to the store and I was only able to get some store-bought pre-mixed cocktails, which are nice, but they're not exactly the most bougie thing that I can say. Is like, look at me, come to my fancy ass bar and I'll show you this round of drinks. Whereas me, it's like, well, what do you have? Oh, you know, I got mojito from M&S. You know.
So, I have this. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, moving on. Yeah, no, she's definitely better prepared than I am, and this is my show. Fucking hell. All right.
I wanted to show up prepared. I didn't want to be like, Lily doesn't even try. I'm trying. Okay, it's that I'm trying.
Yeah, no, the real one who doesn't even try is me. I'm the one who's having a hard time. She's way more prepared than I am.
I prepared. I wanted to show up and make people impressed. Like, oh, she cares. That's so sweet. It's like, yeah.
So, if I was to kick off the questions with something a little more before we start the drinks, maybe a little more pedestrian, a little more boring. Since you want to impress people, why don't you tell us a little bit about the kind of streaming that you do? You know, what kind of content do you like to make?
I wish I could impress people, but I don't know if you use the same terms on YouTube, but I'm a React Andy. I talk a lot to chat. I'm just like, I like chatting a lot. I play games as well, of course, but I'm a React Andy. I talk a lot. We eat dinner and watch some memes, and we just occasionally play some games. Genshin. I'm gonna play a while when Dragonflight comes out as well.
Me too.
I'm super into like Mythic Rating and Mythic Plus. Love that shit. It'll be great. And yeah, there isn't all that much to say.
No, I mean that's really cozy though. And first of all, it's like, just I don't know. It's really nice because I felt like I was super into World of Warcraft when I was like, you know, a good decade or so younger. But I never got to the point of being able to raid properly. I did a couple raids, but it was mostly because people were bringing me along just to be nice. Like, I was never really that good at it. And so I feel like I'm in the presence of a master at the moment at this game that I love, but never really got that far. I never focused on one character. I would always, like, get them to, like, halfway to max level and then be like, I'm bored now. I'm gonna make a new one, you know?
I can somewhat relate because as someone who wants to be competitive, I'm a meta whore. Wait, can I say that? It's
yeah, you can say that. No, we've said a lot worse.
Okay. I just played a meta, so the second my character isn't good, I'm like, fuck it, I'll play something else.
It reminds me of like, what was that story of back in, I think it was Burning Crusade, when you had the Sunwell, and how I can't remember what the fight was called, but it was this Naru who was so difficult to kill that that you needed like these drums to be able to defeat it, and so like guilds were having everyone re-roll your professions, do leatherworking, train your leatherworking to grandmaster so that you can make these drums. Otherwise, you're off the team.
Dude, I sometimes miss those times where I just want to be competitive. I used to be so much more competitive, but like streaming, if you want to be competitive, everyone can relate. It's like a full-time job. And when I got into streaming, I just didn't have that time because streaming always comes first. So it's like, yeah, I can raid, but sometimes I'm like in a collab or just any other random thing and I just can't. They're like, you're not reliable enough. Bye, and then flick me like a booger.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's terrible, but
yeah, I guess it's a matter of choice, you know. I mean, having been sort of like in streaming and being pretty successful for like the past almost year now, I keep getting this feeling that whenever I look at games like WoW or like, you know, RuneScape is the one that I'm into, whenever I think about it, it's like, God, there's one little part of me that's like, I kind of wish I was still a basement-dwelling loser so that I could go back to when things were simple, you know? It's like, I imagine you relate to me on the sense that we both love what we have and like the success is beautiful and it's so exciting to be where we are, but like, there's just that little part of you that's like, I was a basement-dwelling nerd, and a part of my heart, I still am.
I want it back. I just want to wake up, go online, grind away for like 12 hours, and go back to sleep.
Those were the days.
I miss those times, man. I miss those times.
Those were the days. So for you, when it came to video games, it was WoW that like really devoured your entire life, like back in the day before you sort of really had. I mean, I don't know what you were doing before you were streaming, and you don't have to answer. But I mean, I imagine there was probably a long time where gaming was probably all you really did.
Yeah, I've pretty much, dude, I've been gaming since before I could read. Like, I remember those like old ass Nintendos. They are like not even black and white. They're like green and dark green.
Yeah, the original Game Boy. Oh
yeah.
My God.
That's how it started, and I played like all kinds of games on it. I couldn't even read. So as like a freaking 4-year-old who can't read, just press buttons. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So I forced my mom to read the quest. So I figured out how I can progress because I just can't figure out why this NPC won't let me through. And my mom was just like so pissed. But she supported my gaming addiction ever since. So kudos to my mom, thanks.
Oh God. That's really, really sweet, and it's amazing to hear like what everyone had like a different origin when it came to games. And like for me, I actually, you know, I was sort of I'm a boomer, but the first games that I got into were actually Flash games on like Miniclip and stuff. And I saw a tweet this morning that apparently Miniclip, its servers are going down soon, and we're gonna lose it. And that was how I discovered RuneScape originally. You know, that was how I discovered my favorite game was Miniclip, and now it's disappearing. And this morning I watched I watched like a little video of like, I should have been going out to get breakfast, but I was instead just sat inside, really riveted on this video of this Miniclip game where it was like where you have to chop ice to save Vikings from like who have been trapped in the ice, and you had to like solve puzzles to get them to fall back into the boat and all that kind of stuff. And I was watching that, and I felt like I was being just so ripped from my present place and being drawn back into the past. It was so beautiful.
God, the visual in my head is just like Vikings trapped in the ice, and you're just like kind of chopping off and roll them down the hill into the boat. Just like, yeah, good luck. Bye. God, gaming it's literally my life, and people are like, you'll grow out of it. And it's like, nah, bitch. I don't think so.
It's interesting because I feel like we've been alive in a time where the attitudes towards games have changed so much, like in such a short space of time. I mean, I remember when I first got really into gaming, and I was like telling my parents, they were always gonna be like, "Nah, son, that's gonna rot your brain. That's gonna you're gonna that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. You shouldn't be on it for more than an hour a day. It's gonna be terrible." And nowadays, we come to understand that video games are a worthy career. I mean, look at us. We both play games for a living. I mean, we chat and we chat and stuff, but I mean, we also like gaming. We game for a living. People make games for a living. I believe the video game industry is worth 3 times as much as the entire film industry now.
Oh shit! Actually, I never actually looked those numbers up, but that's interesting. That's insane.
It kind of makes sense when you think about all of the conventions and all of those giant companies and console releases and stuff like that. I mean, you know, the film industry is kind of, after COVID, the film industry is kind of on its last legs, you know. So many movie theaters are closing down, and as a film nerd, that is just so depressing for me. Just seeing the actual experience of going to a cinema be replaced by Netflix. I'm like, no, bring it back, bring it back.
It's crazy because like movies and films and such, arguably they are for every audience. Kids, old people, people of any gender, age, whatever. Gaming, they cater to a group of people. Large, sure, but not everyone is really that much into it, depending on age group and gender and shit. So it's crazy to see it being such a more lucrative thing, like in the entertainment industry. Shit, man.
Yeah, it always makes me really happy when boomers get into games. Like there was the story about that granny who played Skyrim, but she never really played any of the quests or did any of the combat. She would just walk around catching butterflies, and she was like a big thing on social media. There was a guy called RS Glory and Gold who was a 60-something-year-old man who played RuneScape.
I've watched this one.
Yeah, you love him.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do like fan art for him too. He was so happy. He was just such a happy little dude.
Yeah, just getting along with just the only thing that he wanted to do, which was to play games. And I don't know, it's there are also those stories about, especially MMOs, you know, kind of circling back to WoW, like how some families are able to kind of stay in touch. Like I remember I read a story about a kid and his dad who lived far apart, and they used to go fishing in World of Warcraft to like stay to like kind of, what was it, to sort of bond and stuff while they were away. And I mean, what's more bonding than fishing with your dad, even if it isn't a video game?
Beautiful. I love that so much. It's insane. Yeah, dude, gaming is everything. Like even my mom, even with just fucking Farmville, some Facebook game, they eventually just like pick up some sort of gaming habits. It's so cute to see.
All right, I'm gonna get started on my drinks now. This is is a raspberry mojito.
I didn't even pour anything. I just have the fancy bottle standing here.
Give us some ASMR if you can. Give us that pouring sound.
Oh hell yeah. Wait, I was so ghetto. I don't have a wine glass, but I didn't realize until I was home. So I'm just gonna drink this white wine out of this Kenji mug.
Honestly, like the amount of times that I've needed to either have a drink or do or just anything like that, the amount of times that like I have forgotten to do the dishes, and so the only glass I have, like for example, if I need to have like a pill in the morning, like maybe a vitamin pill or something, and I will just have it out of a wine glass because that's the one thing that I haven't used. It's like just having the most bougie ass paracetamol in the morning.
Yes, it feels better right away. Alright, I am ready. I poured my wine.
Very good. Hey.
Alright.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink.
Clink, clink. Wait, oh, I can clink.
Clink! We've clinked, chat. Are you happy?
It was actually really delicious. It's so sweet. I like it. It's like a fruit juice, but someone poured like a shot of vodka in there. It's so nice.
I tend to really enjoy those kinds of drinks. I mean, I think some go better together than others. I don't know how familiar you are with like, I mean, rum and coke is like a classic old sort of combination. I don't know why it goes together as well as it does, but it does. I'd really love to, you know, I really look up to someone like Folger who has been a bartender and knows how to bartend. Have you ever been to a bar and you watch a bartender going insane, like getting about 5 different things, and they
squirt everything in.
Yeah, and I remember I went to this one bar where it was like, specifically they were like, we add theater to every drink. And they every drink was served with dry ice, and they had one where it was like a test tube, and they linked it up, and then they had like this little spark plug, and they filled it with all these different things, and then and it went whoosh with a load of fire everywhere, and then they handed it to me like bon appetit, and it was just a fireball like cocktail, but it was so good, and I was like, okay, you know. I don't know.
I love it. It's just, I love cocktails in general. Like when I always just go, okay, make it sweet and fruity. Just make it taste like there's no alcohol inside, and that like I got you. And they just like fabricate like with some witch magic, just like and I'm like, oh, that tastes so good. I almost don't feel like I'm drinking alcohol. And I just get shit-faced for no reason.
Have you ever seen one of those bartenders who, like, I remember I went to one place and the bartenders was like, literally, like, if she was this really short lady, and whenever there was like a drink she needed to get that was up on the top shelf, she would literally just climb on the bar and like swing off of something, grab it in midair, do a little forward roll, stand up with the glass, throw it into the air, and like pour the drink while the glass is in midair, catch it and hand it to me. And I was like,
she's freaking Tarzan out there. Oh, yeah, yeah. Getting all the liquors from the shelf.
Clearly not paid anywhere near enough.
Dude, that's the saddest part. They do like little magic. They're like entertainers on top of being, you know, bartenders and servicing. But man, the pay is rather mediocre.
It is a shame, isn't it? I mean, maybe you relate to this, but what I always think is that I feel like I wouldn't really be able to function if this wasn't my job, you know? Because with streaming, it's so simple to just jump live, chat about stuff, and play games and all that kind of stuff, and then, you know, people look up to you and people sort of put you on this pedestal, when really, you know, I remember I went to go see the doctor recently very early, and I saw people going to work on their bikes in the rain to go and do some sort of job that they likely get paid a lot less to do than I do, and I thought, like, something doesn't feel right about that, you know?
It just doesn't feel fair, does it? It's just like, damn, I can't believe I do what I do for a living, playing video games. The thing I've wanted to do all my life, just like stick to it. The thing I've always been told I should get off of because I need to grow up and be an adult, and I'm like, no, I play video games now.
Yeah. How do you, like, it is an interesting question, isn't it? How do you manage to, like, introduce your new career to people who don't know anything about it? Like, when you meet them at a party, it's like, so what do you do? How exactly do you describe it?
Honestly, maybe it's easier if you're on YouTube, but most people don't know Twitch because I stream on Twitch. I've recently picked up YouTube just like once a week, every now and then, but it's just like a side thing just to please the YouTube frogs as well, because I'm a YouTube frog myself. But I usually go to people and go like, well, you know YouTube, right? Videos, you watch videos on YouTube, and they're like, yes. So I'm like, so basically imagine watching a video, except it isn't an edited video, it's just a live stream. Like when you go to a comedy show and there's live performance, that's what I do, but online. And then they're like, okay, I get it. And then I want to see, you know, what I do. And then I pull up my stream and I'm like, so also I'm a VTuber. Now this part is gonna be a lot harder to explain.
Especially considering what is it? The kind of content that you and I make. I mean, I feel like whenever I introduce someone to my channel and I'm like, hey, yeah, so this is what I'm doing now, you know, it's going really, really well, and they're like, what is this ASMR you've been making? I'm like, don't click on that. Don't click on that.
Like, don't click that. God, there's definitely content where I am happy to produce it, but it's difficult to show it to people who wouldn't understand, ASMR being one of them, or just like sitting and eating. And one of the comments I get a lot from family is like, Lily, you are so beautiful, why hide behind character? I'm like, damn, Mama didn't say I was ugly, I just like VTubing. What do you mean? Damn.
That's exactly how I feel about it as well. It just
Right?
being a PNG anime character gives you so many more options for how you can like brand yourself and express yourself, you know. And I feel like if I just sat with my webcam on, I don't know if it would really have quite the same appeal. I mean, of course, you know, there's no need for us to do a face reveal. I mean, this is my face, of course. You've already seen it.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the same time, it's such a different experience, and I think that's probably why it's taken off so much. Like, there's so much more room to be creative when there's that degree of separation between the real person and the character. You know, you don't have to worry about people learning too much about who you are, because it's not who you are that matters, it's how you present yourself. Whereas with a webcam streamer, people always feel like they want to know just exactly who you are, and then suddenly there's a part of you online that can never be taken back.
Yeah, that is, well, I hope this isn't too much immersion breaking, but I used to be a webcam streamer before becoming a VTuber. Sorry if that's immersion, I didn't mean.
No, I can't believe it, no! She's not a real orca, I can't believe it.
Oh no, I can't believe it! So it's just like, there's definitely pros and cons to being able to just stick to your character. Whether you play a character or not doesn't matter. People need to understand, to be a VTuber, you still play a character. You exaggerate your facial expressions and stuff like that, you know, to make sure everything shows up well. But also, it's really nice that I can go shopping and no one will know. I'm just in the store buying liquor and no one's gonna be like, SHYLILY, oh my god, are you buying this because you'll be on Voxes under the table? That doesn't happen because no one knows. So it's really nice to separate that. I really like that. It gives me so much joy, but also makes me feel safe, really safe.
That's a big part of it, especially because I think that, like, especially, I mean, it's been a thing for people who are famous in a mainstream sense as well. But being sort of even somewhat famous can put you in a lot of danger sometimes. You know,
it can. Yes.
There are the kinds of people who, you know, I mean, maybe the sorts of people who, in my opinion, mostly just deserve like help or to sort of have someone to talk to, but. You know, sometimes it can be difficult for people to sort of draw the line between what's acceptable and what's, you know, definitely going to get you laddered in jail. You know, the kind of people who will just every single day. And I have moved somewhere that has really good security systems and stuff, so that I can, like, you know, I don't have to worry about it. But every time I walk out, I go to the shop, I just feel like someone across the road, I'm gonna say something, and someone across the road is gonna be like, is that him? And then I'm gonna have to move again. You know, it's definitely a career that comes with so many good parts, but it's pretty scary sometimes. You know, to think about what people are gonna do when they're really attached to you. You know.
Yeah, before I became a VTuber, I was nowhere near the size I am now. But even just thinking how small of a streamer I was, and like the humble little tiny itty bitty teeny weeny community I had, I still had recognitions outside of my stream, just in public. And my favorite I like to tell is when I was at a train station. I forgot what it was. I think it's on my way to work. And some dude recognized me and like pressured me into having Dunkin' Donuts with him. And I just didn't know how to handle the situation because I don't know how people take rejection. I don't know this person, and this random person just walks up to me and just like pressures me into hanging out, asking personal questions like, where are you going? Oh, do you work there? Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to talk about that. It's just, but I also don't know what happens if I have this rejection towards him, because what if he just like loses his temper, and I'm just scared because what if he pressures me to Dunkin' Donuts, and even though I said no like 5 times, maybe he's like, how fucking dare you, and like makes a scene in public. I don't want that either, so it's scary. So I'm really happy I have this separation now.
Yeah. That, like, I'm first of all really sorry you went through that. That sounds absolutely terrifying.
It's okay. It's been many years now.
That's good.
I can laugh about it.
I've never really had that kind of an experience yet, but I feel like it's just a matter of time until something happens. But I also kind of get what you mean about like the whole Rupert Grint syndrome of not being able to say no to fans. Like, I feel like if someone came up to me and they were like, even if someone went as far as like photoshopping images I put on Twitter, being able to triangulate my address coming up to my front door, I feel like I wouldn't even have it in me to call the police. I'd be like, all right, come in, would you like some tea? You know, it reminds me of, like, the reason I say Rupert Grint is there's this story about that Daniel Radcliffe told one time about how like they were on a night out and they got recognized, obviously because they're in Harry Potter, and so Rupert Grint got into a conversation with a fan of his, and he literally just couldn't say no to anything that happened, and eventually they just wound up back at his house, you know.
Oh god.
Because he just couldn't say no, and they were like, hey, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go home now, and they're like, all right, and then they got in the car with him and he said, okay, yeah, sure, you know. They're just kind of like not able to say no. It's just
the confidence of some people. All right, sure, let's go home to your place. What? Yeah, I just struggle with rejection. It's really difficult to say no, especially because I am very blessed to have this career. The people that like me this much, they are also ultimately the people that made me. So that makes it even harder to give them rejection and say no. And it's just, you have to find a balance where it's just like, okay, this is the line. I'm sorry, but I have to say no.
And it's difficult as well, like with how convincing people can be, you know, to try and figure out where the line actually is. Having your own boundaries is difficult sometimes because I think there's this big part of every person where they wonder, am I being unreasonable? You know, when I say no, whenever I think about the fact that, like, logically, if someone figures out where you live and comes and tries to interact with you, or if, like, in your case, someone just won't leave you alone, you've got every right to call the police. But I don't think I could ever actually do that. I think I would just look at my phone and be like, listen, I'd like try to ask them, and then if they said, well, why are you asking me to leave? I'd be like, well, I don't know, I mean, I guess you can stay. You know?
Like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that, stay, please. Yeah, it's just, it's such a weird pressure, like, people go like, it's so, just call the police. It's so easy to say, like, you're gonna talk to the stranger who can't take no for an answer and just rip out your phone and put like 911 in there. It doesn't work like that. There's this weird pressure in the eyes of people around you where it's just like, it's awkward. You're making a scene worse than it already is.
I'm really scared of that. Like, even when a scene happens around me, I can tend to get really like, ugh, you know. I remember I was out at a restaurant recently, and like virtually nothing happened. Like there was some Halloween party happening, and some kids like were running around the restaurant, and there was like a parent who told them off a little bit too loud, and I was like, you know, it felt similar to me. I don't know if you've ever had like a fight break out in front of you, but it feels really like, whoa, you know. Only
one time, and I remember it vividly because it's never happened before, but it sticks with you. It's just like, oh wow, okay.
Is that a fun story or something you'd rather not go into?
I don't know if it's fun. It was just a couple arguing at the bus stop. I didn't even quite catch what it was about because I arrived there when it was just like screaming and like throwing shit at each other and just like, wow, they are really mad. I don't know what happened, but sheesh. Sorry or not sorry, I don't know who's in the right, who's in the wrong. I don't know.
I hate to say it, but it is when there's like a situation happening, but it's just far enough away that it's not going to affect you. It's so impossible to look away. Like you just really want to kind of peek around the corner. It's like when I was living like a year or so ago, when I was living with my old roommates, there was a couple doors down, there was like this domestic dispute going on. Like there was this couple who were yelling at each other really loudly in their back garden, and we were just poking our head out the window trying to like get a good angle to see like what the hell's going on. And then you start theory crafting and you think like, what do you think's happening? It's like maybe one of them's having an affair, or maybe one of them's doing this, or one of them's doing that, and then you just kind of go back inside. You know, maybe one of them comes outside, tries to talk, and you're worried one of them's gonna see you, so you kind of back inside, and then later we check out the window again and the police are showing up, and it's like, oh shit, yes, it's escalating.
No way.
And it just gets really interesting.
It reminds me of the fucking meme of the cat just like standing on its hind legs being like, the fuck they doing over there?
The fuck they doing over there?
That's me. God, yeah. When I still used to live in Denmark, I also lived in an apartment complex with very thin walls, and there was this couple where I'm just like, I don't know why they were still together, but I shit you not, I think every second or third night they argued vividly for like an hour towards bedtime. I'm just be laying in bed and I just hear like smashing and throwing and like table clapping. I'm like, damn, what are they doing? I don't understand why. And I've lived there for like a good almost 2 years, and it's just like 2 or 3 times a week, maybe 4 times. They're just arguing. Why?
It's difficult to think about. I mean, thankfully I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've had like, I don't know, frequent arguments with someone who I live with, but it's still like really sad to just think like that's what, you know, is it like a two-way fight where both of them are shitty people, or both of them have issues, right? Or is it one person yelling at another person who's just doesn't know how to fight back? It's just, oh god,
it's just sad.
Makes me really happy that that's not what we're dealing with at the moment, but then everyone has their own things that they're dealing with, I guess.
I guess so. Like, I never know the full story. I try to not judge too much, but it is difficult to have zero judgment when you hear them every single night, and it's just like, why are you still... What is going on? I truly wonder.
What is going on in that person's life? But you can't know. You can't know.
You don't know.
And I guess, sort of looping it back to streaming, what's really interesting is the fact that, like, I don't know if you get this, but whenever I sort of read my own chat, I can't escape from like the thought. There's a porn bot in my chat now. That's fantastic. I was just when I said when you look at your chat, I look at my chat and I just see I see a profile picture with like with an ass in it, and I was like, oh, fantastic. But it's difficult to look at chat and not kind of think about how every person who talks in chat is like a whole person with their own personality, their own thoughts, experience, life, maybe things they need help with, things they're struggling with. And then I remember Markiplier mentioning this a while ago, and I really admire Markiplier like so much, and the way that he was mentioning how much it broke his heart that when he got bigger as a creator, he realized he could never have like a really personal relationship with every one of his fans, you know, because there were just so many of them. But yet they're all people still, you know, they're all really people with really rich experiences, and it's pretty difficult, you know, when you want to be close with people and you kind of see people, you think like, yeah, it would be really nice if I could help them. But of course, you know, the relationship between creator and fan is such a sticky, messy maze to navigate that most of the time it's best just not to even attempt it, you know.
Sometimes you make it worse by attempting it, because like either the people feel like, oh, so his problem is worth talking about but not mine, so like he gets attention, I don't. But other times it's also just like you just want to help people for the sake of helping, but then it gets a little bit too personal, too much. Like I had this person just recently, and they seemed so sweet, and I was like, oh, fuck it. I see his name around 24/7. I'll add him in Battle.net because he just shot me like a friend request. Fuck it, why not? The second I applied, it was just non-stop texting, just like, hi, how you do? Welcome, I'm doing this. Can I join this? Can you add my friend? He's my best friend. This is his name. Can you add him back? And it just got so much to the point where it's just like, I would have loved to really be friends, but you're too much. It's like work suddenly, and I felt so heartbroken when I was just like, no, sorry, and I removed them again as friends because I just couldn't. It was too much.
Yeah, and again, it's like that power imbalance, like the creator and fan, and you know that when you do remove that person, it's going to affect them so much. It's going to like hurt them a lot, but you need to do that for your own health as well.
Yes, it's just I hurt that person for the sake of my own health, and that hurt me too. But in the end of the day, it was the right choice. But it is, just because it's the right choice doesn't mean it's a good choice. It's still shitty to do. It still hurts. Not everything that's right feels right.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's the hardest thing to do that is the right thing to do. You know, something you might have been putting off for a long time, where you think, God, I really need to do this, I need to do this, I need to set this person straight, I need to get this out of my life, but then it's, you know, those emotions can feel so difficult to contend with. And it's the fact that, you know, we may have to deal with that on a greater level, I guess. And not to diminish the experiences of anyone who's dealt with this in their own lives, but
of course,
I think it's the fact that, you know, there are a lot of people in every streamer's fan base, whether or not you have the sort of content that sort of attracts those type of fans. It's everyone with an audience has hundreds of people who would become that way, you know, and it's difficult to think about. Like, people would be happy to spend time with me, but they also would then, it would cause problems if I did try to become friends with them, and so it's really difficult to deal with. Like, the human side of you just has to get put on the side while you try and focus on this weird middle ground where you support people but only so much, you know.
It is sad. Most people I stick to nowadays are almost exclusively from back in the days when I was smaller and was able to form more personal connections, because it was more doable, it was more realistic. And then, yeah, the shitty thing about growing is that you cannot form that personal experience anymore outside of stream. So you just stick to the ones you have, and it sometimes is sad.
It's difficult. I imagine it's this way even if you're not a streamer, even if you're
absolutely
in any career, because every career has growth to it, whether you're like a store owner or whether you're a corporate person or whether you're like an actor or something like that. Every time you advance into the next stage of your career, you have more people wanting either to be
Yeah.
you or to be beside you, and saying no to everybody is really difficult. I mean,
It is.
oh god, I get so many times where like someone will ask me for a collab and it's like, yeah, this is at 4 a.m. and this is happening and this is happening, and I just sit there and I think, it's like, I really don't want to do this, but oh god, I can't imagine being like, no, sorry, I can't, or like, no, sorry, or even worse, no, sorry, I just don't want to. I will never be able to say that to a person. I just don't want to. I have to come up with an excuse.
Yeah, you have to come up with a valid excuse. I don't think I've ever said no to anyone. Not, but I remember I've wanted to, but there have been some people who were really fishy, and it didn't evolve into a collab, and I'm low-key glad, because it's like, it felt so artificial. It's just, they ask for a collab, and then like literally 20 minutes later they get upset I didn't reply yet, and I'm like, my guy, it's 4 a.m. for me, relax. I am not replying to a Twitter DM at 4 a.m. Like, I'm glad this collab didn't happen, I suppose, because I already know enough then.
Yeah, it's difficult, I guess, especially, I mean, because you and I have had very different paths to where we are, right? Like, obviously, you know, pretty much a nobody for a long time, and then join NIJISANJI and suddenly, you know, get on like the top level. Whereas you sort of have been growing very gradually over a long period of time as an indie. And I've heard stories about like what the indie community, especially at like the low to mid level, can be like, and it sounds really difficult to get ahead. You know, like there are a lot of really predatory people in that community. You know, and obviously naming no names, but you know, it's definitely a reputation.
Never any names, but that's just the reputation of like the indie label to begin with. But it is unfortunately true, and because of that, some people just never make it, just because of the hardships they have to face and overcome. So it's just sad to see that they have so much potential, but people never let them grow past that stage, because they're just like so driven by jealousy and hate and holding them back, and toxicity, and it's just too much for some people to grow past that.
It's almost like, you know, it's almost like a lot of people will sort of jump at the chance to do anything to grow, especially considering VTubing is such an exploding niche. Everyone wants to find their piece of the pie, and so, you know, it seems almost like a thing where if someone maybe in the mid to high level indie community makes even a small mistake, someone else who's connected will almost jump at the chance to sort of cancel them for it, even if it's not that big of a deal. You know, maybe they had a personal disagreement, maybe something went only slightly wrong, suddenly the twit longers start flying, you know, all of this shit starts happening because someone wants to just jump, you know, leapfrog over the person in front of them and try to get ahead. And it's a real shame, because I think that what VTubing began as is just a different way of creating content. You know, it's a way of really expressing yourself, you know, using something way farther away from ourselves and expressing a story that maybe we couldn't with our real faces, and then it suddenly sort of becomes a really nasty community to be a part of. But I guess that's the case with any sort of large community, is that there will always be bad apples.
I think so as well. Like, it's just, we are so invested in the community that we see the good and the bad. So I think that's just with every community, not just VTubing, but also I feel like VTubing gives so many people an outlet to express themselves through something else, VTubing, which is where I think lots of that comes from. They feel a little bit too safe just hiding behind and speaking through someone else, that it becomes a little bit too easy to just like openly drag people down, even though they don't deserve it.
I'd never really thought about that. Like, you can access more of your bad traits because you feel less connected to it. For me personally, I feel unable to remove myself from the person that I am online, and I feel like if someone's dragging Vox Akuma, they're dragging me as well, and that makes me upset.
I feel the same way.
You know.
Yeah. It's grown to be literally me. Like, it's like when you have shoes that are too big and you just grow into them, and it's like, oh, these fit nicely. That's a VTuber character. At some point, yeah, it's a character, but you grow into it, and it's like you attach yourself to it, and it's just like you breathe and live through the same heart and lung, and it just becomes the point where if people insult my VTuber persona, they insult me because maybe it's different when people play a character, but it hurts me personally still, because that's just how I am in person. So when people dislike something about my personality, I'm like, damn, you dislike me as a person then, because that's just how I am. So it does hurt still. It's still like, just because you drag SHYLILY doesn't mean you aren't also hurting Lily.
God, that was really that was a stirring speech. I kind of lost myself in that, and I was like, oh God,
I'm a drink one to that.
I'm the host on a talk show. I need to be better than this. Yes, I have some good news. I remember you tweeted recently about trying to get verified on Twitter and how you got literally insta denied, which is it's such a gotcha. Like, you pull the thing, it's like, will I get verified today? No, but I applied again yesterday. And it hasn't been rejected yet. It is still under review, so it's not been insta rejected. So I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that I'll get the magic check mark. But you never know. I mean, it's difficult. You know, you know, I have like more than 1 million followers, and I still not verified. And then you'll look at like some journalist who has like 600 followers and they're verified because they write for a newspaper. It's like, what the fuck?
Like, how do you get rid of? You write for a newspaper. You're barely even affiliated. They just hired you. Just like, yeah, this person's
verified. Yeah, they're verified. Twitter's very weird like that, but
it's so weird. I thought it was a joke at first. I applied. I was having like this master plan, so I got some tips and tricks from friends. They were like, okay, make a tweet, add verified, make sure people engage with it. So I did. So I made the tweet, people were super supportive, commenting, liking, retweeting. I'm like, yeah, this will get me the mark. I apply, I wanna end stream, I was rating someone, and my manager texts me and he's like, check your emails. I'm like, he's like, no, do it now. And I check my email and just like, denied. I literally just sent it. What do you mean? Is this a joke? I don't understand. Just poof. Oh, okay. Well, great stream then. Thanks for trying.
Like, literally before you'd even ended stream, you just check your emails and you're like, well, guys, 5 minutes ago we applied. Twitter has already decided. No fucking way is it happening. See ya. Goodbye.
Goodbye, see you. It's so stupid, but it is what it is. I'm still happy without the check mark, but Twitter is just this place like, I just want it, because why not?
Yeah.
It's me. I just want it.
It's
yeah,
like,
I don't get anything out of it, but it's a flex. I just want it.
It's like the, you know, like a YouTube play button, or it's like any kind of award, you know, it's a little symbol and you just get to see, and every time you open your Twitter account, you get to see it and be like, yeah. You know, it's I don't know. Aren't there like special features of verified people? Like, don't you get special mentions, a mentions list for other verified accounts or something like that? There's something like that, but I don't even know if that's what I'm interested in.
There is something, to be honest. I bet there's some sort of way where like verified have like an easier way to also check out other verified people. Speaking of that, why is Twitter so weird? Every time I tweet something, I feel bad because I miss like my friends' replies, because for some reason, even though I follow them, they're just drowned within the comments of my tweet. Like, why can't the people I follow, my friends, just be on top when they reply? Why do they have to like hide them?
I mean, Twitter always promotes like the tweets that get the most sort of replies, right? Like they and that's why whenever you see a thread about anything even remotely controversial, you know, like a situation with a streamer or something, it's always the people with the most hideously awful takes that get put right at the top. And I feel like obviously that's better for Twitter as a website, because the more tweets they promote, the more tweets with replies they promote, the more those tweets have been engaged with, and the more tweets you click on, the longer you stay on the website and the more money they make, which makes sense from a business standpoint. But it also means that the experience of interacting with Twitter always makes you sad. Every time. It always makes you mad. And it's just like...
It's why people hate it. It's why it's seen as like this like pool of people who just have like L takes, because people who have such L takes stir up the people who are like, what is wrong with you? And then because I get so many comments, it's a top freaking comment. The thing people see first when they open the freaking tweet, and I'm just like, oh, I hate it. Because like, the first thing you see in one of those tweets is just like this weird L take. Why?
It's just so weird. I mean, what possesses a person to just spend their entire life making really, really nasty, awful tweets about people?
Right?
But I don't know. I mean, everyone has a purpose in life, and if your purpose is to create the most vile, angry, controversial tweets, then go for it. I mean, you know, some people will make tweets where it's like, at least it's funny, and you'll read it and you'll be like, you know, right. But then some people will just say the most angry, vile shit, and you just read it and you're like, what the hell is wrong with you? But you'll still read it and see a load of likes and replies on it. That's the thing, is that if you see a tweet that you disagree with and you think like, oh god, that's horrible, and then you see likes on it and you're like, am I the bad guy? And then suddenly you start doubting yourself as well.
It's like, am I the bad guy? Am I the one with the W tag? With the L tag? Are they the W? I don't understand. Why do people like this?
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't... Why? I don't understand. I thought I was based.
I thought you were bae. Turns out you're just fam. Bruh.
Oh, bro.
What a throwback that was. No, I thought you were based. Turns out you're just cringe.
Oh, just like me, for real. Am I the drama? Maybe I'm the bad guy. Shit.
Are we the baddies?
But I was always so happy and neutral and just like staying away from it. But maybe I'm the problem.
Yeah, you know, you have even the slightest opinion on something. You know, maybe people should. I don't know. It's like for me, I think people should treat other people with respect. And then you see some tweet that's like, I hate treating people with respect, and then everyone agrees with it, and it's like, huh?
I was like, wait, what?
Maybe I am wrong.
It's like, what am I doing wrong? It's just like, yeah, throw pee pee poo poo. I'm like, I guess maybe is that the way? Damn. I can't. But
that's that. Twitter is Twitter. YouTube is YouTube.
Twitter is just Twitter.
And Twitch is Twitch. And we just do what we can. We stay in our lane, try to make people laugh, make people smile. And other than that, there's not much else we can really do. Me too.
I just want to make people laugh, and then they attack me, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
So, I'm like, damn.
I mean, yeah. What always makes me laugh is that it's always the things that I expect people not to get mad at that they do get mad at. You know,
right.
Like for me, I tweeted about wanting to fuck a Genshin character, and Genshin Twitter was very angry with me. I said I tweeted about Yalan, and I said I was gonna morble over my Subway sandwich, and then I got a bunch of quote retweets from people who were like, excuse me, that's literally sexual harassment, and I was like, she's not real! She's not real! Go outside!
It's literally a made-up fictional character with a design that they knew would be thirsted upon. Like, let's be honest, like, they know what they're doing.
What is it? What is it about Genshin characters where they'll be like, oh my god, he's so beefy, and it's literally just like a stick figure. You know, there's just...
That's it to me. People are like, oh my god, he's so big, and I'm like, where? The enemies in Sumaru are bigger than him.
Where is it? Because I can't see it.
It's like he just has like the same arms as me, and I have like little twigs. You can like break them if you grab them too long. It's just like, what? What happened?
Oh god. Have you ever had one like that where you tweet something that you think is just like harmless and funny, and then someone is like, actually this represents a really serious problem?
God, all the time. Like, I have to, I don't know what it is about Twitter, but I like to be like a bit of a gremlin, where I'm just like, I just tell people they're stanky and like puta and just like that, and people are like, oh my god, I can't believe she has beef with Numi. I'm like, who are you? What? What are you talking about? That's just, how I fuck around with my friends. It's just, what do you mean?
Everyone reads way too far into every interaction you have with your friends. Like, I remember, what is it? I got a load of shit one time because, like, Mr. tried to play a video that our fans made on his stream, and I had played it on my stream, and I thought it was copyright free. Turns out it wasn't, and then everyone was like, oh my god, he's intentionally lying to Mr. He's trying to sabotage Mr's stream, trying to get him copyright strike. And I'm like, no, I'm not evil, I'm just really dumb, I didn't know.
People read so much into stuff. Like, I just fuck around with my friends. I'm smooth brain. Sometimes I just don't know better. Sometimes I do thirst trap stuff, and I'm just like, I thought it was funny. I just, not my problem. I don't like it. Like, why are analyzing it so hard? Just read it, laugh, blow some air, exhale air out of your nose at accelerated speeds, and then move on.
Just be like, you know, and then just kind of move on.
Right? Just like, funny. Bye.
What I had was maybe my most controversial tweet of the entire year. Was a tweet where I said good morning, and I posted a picture of my trousers around my ankles while I was dropping the kids off at the pool, and and there was so many people who thought so many different things about that image. So many people who thought, oh no, this clearly, look, like his trousers aren't down. You can see his bulge on the right hand side of the thing. And first of all, I'm really flattered you thought that was my bulge because it looks gigantic. But you know,
the size of a leg.
It's like, oh my god, he posted his morning wood. He did this, he did that, and I was just like, really? If you're a hater, but you're analyzing every image I post this closely, are you sure you aren't a fan in denial?
Right?
You know, like you're paying a lot of attention to me. You know.
God, it's people overanalyze. So it's just a funny joke. Deal with it. Like, oh my goodness.
If you didn't laugh, that's fine. You know, everyone's got a different sense of humor. I literally shit post a lot of the time, and I know that's not for everybody. It is for me, but if you don't like it, just move on. And then I check the quote retweets sometimes, and people are like, oh my god, he's so gross, I wanted to graduate. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but I'm sticking around. I'm sorry, you're gonna have a lot more shit and poop on your timeline for the next couple of years or so at least.
God, I had this, that was National Booba Day, so I was just like, dude, everyone's bouncing their titties on Twitter. Me too! I have a 3D model, I can bounce my titties. So I did, and people are like, I can't believe people follow for this. Oh my god, I can't believe people like this. I'm like, dude, it's National Booba Day. Just it's a joke. Just deal with it.
Like, literally, this is the one day of the year where I get to do this shit.
Right? The one day of the year where it's acceptable. Like, relax. It's a bunch of titties. Like,
it's
holy shit, hold your horses.
I feel like, I mean, both you and I are very much guilty of trying to thirst trap people all the time. And it's a very,
I love that.
It's a very valid way of creating content. But I think you being a female creator and me being a male creator, I think we get shit for that kind of thing in a different way. It's like, for you, it's like, oh my god, she's such vapid know nothing content, or like, oh, she's such a slut, or whatever it is. It's like, oh, she does this, she does that.
Oh my god,
you know, exactly. And first of all, like, thank you, but you know, and then but then I think for dudes, when I put something like that on a person's timeline, they'll just go like, they'll go the extra mile and be like, excuse me, do you know that minors follow you? Do you know that these people have the chance to see this? And I'm like, I didn't tell them to follow me. Like, I didn't tell them to do that. We should be doing fucking homework.
I mark my content as 18+, and I'll say something like, yo, my nipple itches, and people are like, did you know minors follow you? I'm like, bitch, shut up. It's not my problem. People neglect their parenting responsibilities. Plus, it's a nipple. Everyone's got nipples.
Everyone's got nipples.
I don't know about you.
It's like,
but when I was 4 years old, I knew people had nipples. I know what a titty was. Been sucking on one for like a year.
Exactly. Everyone is very well acquainted, and it's, I don't know. I just, for my money, I feel like my excuse should be, listen, yes, I know, I'm trying to scare them off. You know, I'm just trying to be like, guys, I'm not the creator for you. You know, there are lots of other ones out there. Just go and shuffle off. You know, find something else. If you don't want to see, you know, shit, piss, penis, and balls on main, just please unfollow now. It's your responsibility to do so. And if you're too young to be using the internet, you shouldn't be here in the first place.
Right? It's just like, oh, I remember I had like a tweet. I think I was tweeting. I don't recall the tweet itself, but I was tweeting about being constipated, and people are like, but that's so gross. Oh my god, you're a girl. Like, ew, and like, bro, it's shit. Everyone shits, like, real life.
It's like
I'm constipated, and the world needs to know.
Did you motherfuckers not read the classic book when you were kids? Everyone poops. Everyone poops.
Everyone poops.
For my money, I think the reason I literally shit post so often is because I think I'm just given such like a giggle over the fact that I have this like corporately given million-follow Twitter account. And I'm like, yeah, I get to post my toes while I'm taking a dump on this account and nobody's gonna stop me. I just think there's something funny about that, you know, and I don't know.
It's just like I had this one tweet where I was taking a shit. I'm literally like the V pooper at this point. I was taking a shit with my pants down, and I just wanted to take a picture of my pants being down, my toes out, and sitting on the toilet, tweeting, thinking of you. I thought it was fucking funny, but my manager goes like, "No, you can't do that because Twitter is fucking ruthless." And I'm like, "You're right." You're right. I thought it was comedy genius, but it would have been so funny.
That's so sad. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's worth, like, if someone on Twitter is gonna give you shit for posting your toes while you're taking a dump, I feel like one thing that I always think is that you shouldn't change yourself for people who don't even watch you in the first place.
I think so too, yes. You know? Fuck them.
Like, if your own fans would be happy and giggle if you posted that kind of thing, and if you gave them a good time, that's what matters. Yeah. If it's someone who's a fan of somebody else and they run into your shit on Twitter because they follow someone who follows you and it just gets recommended to them and then they give you shit for it, don't let them change it. They're never gonna sub to you.
Whatever.
They're never gonna give you any money. They're never gonna do this. You shouldn't try to appeal to the people who don't like you.
Who cares?
They don't like you anyway.
Whatever. Yeah, they don't like it to begin with. They just want to be vocal about it, but whatever. I don't know if you have the same thing. We have very similar humor where it's just like, it's a bit thirst trappy, a bit lewd, pee-pee poo-poo, or caca jokes. And then, I don't know if guys have the same issue, but when you are an like openly sexually suggestive content creator as a female, people treat you like you deserve less, and I'm like,
right?
I'm just, right, like, what? Like, people are like, you deserve this, you know what you've done. I'm like, bro, what? I'm just having a time of my life. I'm just being funny like bros would. Like, the same jokes you probably do with your bros on the couch when you come to visit. I do too. Why am I less deserving of equal treatment? What? Why do I get shit on for it? I don't get it.
It's like this, yeah, it's just the whole thing of like, oh, if she's acting lewd, then it must mean that she wants to be lewd with me personally, right? And suddenly you get a load of creepy emails and all that kind of stuff. It's all that kind of stuff. It's like someone does some sleuthing and they're like, hey, I found you, so you're like really lewd on me. And it's like, okay, so clearly you want to do this with me. It's like, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Right? And then, bro, what? Bro, just some dude who like donated TTS and you're just like, oh, it's funny, let me do a funny back, and they're like, she likes me. I'm like,
yeah, it's like, I've seen your name and your profile picture at most. I don't know who I'm dealing with.
It's just so weird. Like, I don't know what it is that people can do those jokes in private with their bros, but the second a content creator does them, it's just like, oh, she's trying to Kuma bait her audience for easy money. I'm like, no, it's my humor. Just like it's your humor too. Stop pretending.
I don't know. It's like, obviously because we're seen by more people, we will get exposed to like a lot more scrutiny. It just does remind me of like, I remember I watched, I saw some YouTube thumbnail where it was like the boys when the group chat gets leaked, and it was Saul Goodman getting incarcerated and have his mugshot taken, and I was like, okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. You know, the kind of person that you can be in private is so much different from the kind of person you get to be online, especially if you have the kind of following that you and I have, you know, because especially on VTuber Twitter, tweets can go quite far. You know, they can. They can escape your target audience, and suddenly you've got people who've never watched you before suddenly being like, "What the hell is wrong with her?" And it's like nothing's wrong with me. I'm just having a giggle, you know, just enjoying the experience.
Dude, my funniest insult is like, "Oh my god, can you believe that it's a grown ass woman behind a character?" I'm like, yeah. So sorry, I didn't grow up being like an entitled, gruntled, grumpy little old person. Yes, I retained my childlike innocence and humor. What do you mean?
It's like all those people who, like in TikTok comments and stuff with female VTubers, like, you guys know that's a man, right? You guys know that's a man with a voice changer. You guys know it's a man. I'm like, I'm waiting for the person who gets one for me, and they're like, you guys know that's a woman, right? You guys know that's a lady behind the camera, and I'm just like, all right, you know.
My usual response is always just like, when I get the "that's a man," you know that, right? I'm like, oh, so what? You're jealous my cock bigger? Like, what's the problem? You're jealous? Is it a problem?
It's like, yes, I need the VTuber model, or else my dick would be hanging out below my skirt, and that's not allowed on Twitch.
Oh god, I can feel the fucking alcohol starting to
Me too.
I'm laughing so hard.
I'm on my third cocktail now, so you know we're really getting into it now.
Yeah, I filled up my mug twice with the wine, and I poured like a couple shots of this hard liquor and mixed it with a Lipton iced tea peach.
That's gonna be super tasty. I kind of want some of that.
It is. It's really sweet. It tastes just like. Well, just like a tea, just you taste in the back of your mouth that there's like something in there, like someone put something in there, but it's really good. The lychee complements the fruit.
Alcohol gives everyone like weird bodily reactions that I can never really process. Like for me, maybe a little TMI, my butthole always feels really warm when I drink. You know, I noticed that the very first time I ever drank anything, I was like, "The hell is going on down there?" And it gets like that every time I start to border from tipsy to drunk. It just starts to feel like something's about to come out. I'm like, what the fuck? You know.
Oh, good thing I went to the shitter before. I was so glad it came out before. I felt it. I did a stream before the stream. And I was like, I feel it coming. I just really hope it's going to be before the stream. Because I don't want to have to go AFK and be like, be right back, I have to take a shit.
Oh god, you just reminded me. What's that song? Is it The Weeknd who does that song where it's like you know, you finish a stream, you've been drinking, and suddenly you feel like you need to take a shit, and it's that I feel it coming, babe, and I was like, oh, that's the one. Yeah, it is The Weeknd.
I love that, but for me it's like this meme where it's just like you get ready for work and you have just enough time to be on time, but then the door opens and it's just like you poop and just like fuck, now I have to poop. It's just, that's me every stream. I don't know if it's the time I drink the coffee, but every time I start stream, I'm like, yep, never mind, nope, going back to poop. I'll see you in 20 minutes.
I can never really relate to people who try and like hide their, I guess if you're in a really proper, hold on, speak of the devil, sorry, I guess if you're in the kind of situation where you feel like you need to, like a very proper situation, you know, maybe you're going to like a job interview or something, then sure. But when you're around friends or whatever, I don't get why people try to hide their burps and their farts. I'm like, they sound so funny. You know, why would you?
Ryan, I just hide my farts because what if people think it's a queef and I get banned? Because
no!
Somehow that's bannable, but farts aren't. So I'm like,
But how do the Twitch admins tell the difference? Are they listening and like, are they putting every female fart into like fucking a Reaper or Adobe Audition, looking at the waveform and being like, yeah, this is clearly a queef banner.
Yep, that's a beef sandwich right there. We got him, boys. I don't, maybe it's because it sounds, I don't even think it sounds different. To me, they sound the exact same. I'm like, how can you tell the difference? And they're like, well, it sounds wet sometimes. I'm like, yeah, sometimes my fart sounds wet too, so what about it? Everyone
has wet farts, okay? There's no avoiding it. Everyone has a bit of a juicy fart every now and again. Farts always have different sounds, different smells, and that's what makes it so fun. The worst thing is when you feel one coming for ages, and then when it finally comes out, it's silent. I'm like, come on, I waited that long. I wanted something funny. Come on.
My favorite reason, I don't know much about YouTube TS. I already got banned by YouTube because I linked my my Reddit in my description, but my Reddit allows not safe for work posts, and YouTube was like, no, bonk, you can't do that. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. But my favorite reason on Twitch to get banned is it's illegal to throw up. And that's funny to me because how? Because that just isn't a voluntary thing you do. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna throw up, I'll be right back. No, it just happens. So how do you get banned for throwing up? It's like, oh yeah, it's such a voluntary thing, I can control it, you know? It's like, why do you get banned for throwing up?
I mean, I guess if someone was doing content where it's like putting my finger down my throat and forcing myself to throw up 25 times an hour, I'd be like, all right, yeah, ban that motherfucker. But you know, they can do that somewhere else. But you know, just oh god, it's like, yeah, I definitely wouldn't choose to throw up on stream. But like, if it happened, it would happen.
It's not my choice to just suddenly have to, you know, it just happens. Like, oh, sorry, that just, I'm gonna go mute myself and clean that up. But like, huh? It's just like, oh, chat, I feel like I have to throw up, so I'll see you in 5 minutes. That just doesn't happen, you know? You can't just not throw up.
It's like, all right, guys, thank you very much for coming to the stream. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the break screen right now because I can feel I'm about to chunder really hard. So make sure you take care, and I'll see you in a bit. And then you kind of mute just in time.
You just hear like the little cut off. I love that. Oh god, I can't. Like, some rules are stupid. I bet there's a reason they're there, but you could have worded it differently and be like, voluntary throwing up is not okay. You know, then okay, it makes sense. I can't just put my finger down my throat and be like,
I could never make myself do that. Like, I feel like I would get halfway down and just be like, no, I'm not doing it, because I don't know, the act of doing it is just, I don't know.
It's just so weird. Like, first of all, you have to fish for your gag reflex, so depending on the kind of person... I mean, everyone's built different, right? So
everyone's built different. You know, I've certainly never had to check for mine, but the day may come. Who knows?
One of these days, Vox. One of these days.
One of these days.
Yeah, but I like how sometimes when you have like food poisoning, you definitely ate something wrong. You feel like shit. You feel like you're about to throw up, and people are just like, just throw up. And I'm like, how? It doesn't work this way. How? Oh shit! I have to swap my headset real quick. My battery. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh no, that's all right. That's all right. You take your time.
Whoop, whoop.
Womp. I'm just trying to think about what we were just talking about, and I can't even remember.
Beep beep boop, test test. I think we're back online.
Oh good. Oh good.
Yes.
It's okay. I don't think anybody noticed anything from our end, so you're all good.
I was speed running it. Speed running the battery exchange.
Every noise. Every noise. So, I've got a few questions from people on Twitter right now, and this one I read just a little while ago while, you know, we were having a chat, and I think this is a really good question. So this is from a fan of mine. This is from Joxan. Both of you have excellent ASMR skills. Could you share with each other your difficulties and experiences in ASMR? Any funny stories that have happened while doing ASMR? Will there be good new streams? Let's have a look. Do you have any fun stories about times you were doing ASMR?
A few. Well, I'm a very giggly person, so sometimes I like to mess around. I'm not a professional. I've watched your ASMR streams too, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I've watched a bunch of them. It's what made me subscribe to like the membership thing. I was like, fuck it. Yeah, okay, it's good.
That's a W, chat. Let's go. Let's
go. So I'm a very giggly person. Sometimes it's really difficult. I like to mess around and try out, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I'm such a giggly and loud person, and it's really difficult to hold back the giggle. I'm just like, it's really hard. But the thing that's low-key embarrassing is my throat sometimes makes like noises like Or like my jaw just randomly decides, yeah, now's a good time to just like crack loudly, and I'm just like, oh, sorry, Dad. Just like, oops, well, too bad.
Oh my god, that, like, I had something exactly like that. The first time I did a stream where it was like I streamed with my bedclothes, and it was like, oh, you know, let's be cozy and let's sleep together and all that kind of stuff. And I was doing the thing where you press the ASMR mic to your chest so they can hear your heartbeat and stuff like that. But unfortunately, I hadn't eaten that day yet. And so every now and again, my stomach was going like, and at one point it sounded so much like a fart. It was like, and I was like, ha! And everyone was like, did you fart? I was like, no! That was my stomach! And it just kept doing it. It kept doing it. And as if it couldn't get any worse, that was my first ever VOD to reach 1 million views. And I was like, oh, amazing. Everyone has heard my stomach go.
Oh god, I love that. I don't have perfectly straight teeth, so I have this one crooked tooth. And sometimes when I close my mouth and I just swallow, it does like a little fart sound, like a teeny tiny fart sound. No one can really hear it a whole lot, but when you're close to the ASMR mic, it's just like, you're going close and you're like, okay, Dad, time for kisses, and just like,
no, I couldn't do that. The amount of times, especially with my own ASMR, where it's like you're trying to sort of play a character, you're trying to sort of set up a whole thing, and then like you uncontrollably fart halfway through. Like the amount of times you have to improv to cover something up, it's so bad.
I can't. Yeah, that was really embarrassing, and that's how I explained to chat why my model has like those sharp fangs, because my teeth aren't perfectly straight, and I have those awfully naturally sharp canine teeth. And I was just like, yeah, it would be a cool thing to implement into my model. Why not? So yeah, that's how I learned about the sharp teeth and why they're there.
That's cute. It's interesting, like when a part of your real self sort of like bleeds into the VTuber design. That's really interesting. Now, my favorite story that I have from an ASMR stream was one that really hurt people, and it was the night ASMR that I did, where it was like it was not like horny or anything. It was like a very story-based one that was very sad and sort of emotional. And the whole thing with it was that the night the listener is like the prince/princess of a kingdom, and I am the knight, and I'm like, I'm going to go to war to repel some invaders and all that kind of stuff. And he goes to war, all this big music and everything, and then his entire army gets completely wiped out, and he's the only survivor. And he drags himself back, and he's all wounded. And the whole thing is that you just sit there with him in your arms, and he's like, I've always loved you, and then like at the end he dies. And it was really, really sad. But the thing is, that went wrong with this, is that halfway through my iPhone, I noticed about an hour and a half into the stream, I forgot to plug it in. Oh, it's gonna run out of battery. And so I noticed it going down, and so I just kept doing it, and I was like, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try, and that was the moment in my head, because all of my ASMR is like improv. I was like, okay, he has to die. This is how this is going to work. He has to die. And so I just started like trying to eke it towards the moment where it would be like, it would work for him to die in a narratively satisfying way. And then it said 10%. And I was like, all right, we got to really start catching up to this now. And then I sort of started noticing the battery going down. And I thought it was going to warn me at 5% as well, but it didn't. And so I was mid-sentence, and suddenly it turned off, and his face just froze. And I thought, that's it. It's not satisfying, but that's it. And I cut to the ending screen, and I was like, motherfucker is dead. And then I decided that's how it's going to go.
It was the perfect timing. It just worked. Oh my goodness.
And then to see everyone on Twitter being like, oh, that was so perfectly paced. Oh my god, I'm crying. I'm going to miss the knight character. That was so good. And I'm just sitting there like, they don't even know the kind of shit I was dealing with on the other end. They don't even know.
They don't even know it. It's a fucking meme. They don't even know I'm a VTuber.
Yeah, like the dude with the back is like, they don't they don't know I'm in NIJISANJI. They don't know I'm a VTuber.
God, I want to do those roleplay things too, but I'm just such a react Annie where I want to do the roleplay really bad. I think there's a bunch of really cool ones. I was like, it'd be really cool to do like the sleeping ASMR, where it just feels like you sleep with someone because some people are alone, they have anxiety. Ow, it's so fucking cute. But I'm such a react Annie, and I just like when I do ASMR, sometimes I just suddenly see like some cringy dude in the chat, and I just go to roast him. And ASMR style, it's like whispering, being like, "Can't."
Oh god,
it's so good.
I had yeah, I mean, okay, if I was to give you some advice, like from a seasoned roleplay ASMR veteran, the way that I do it is that I come up with a I sort of listen to what chat wants in weeks prior to try and figure out a prompt. Like, let's take for example, well, the night one that we were just talking about, right? Yes. Oh no, actually, a better one. Have you heard of my office ASMR?
I haven't heard of the office ASMR, no, I don't think.
Okay, so the office ASMR essentially had a very simple prompt. It was, and I saw it on Twitter, someone suggested it to my hashtag, they were like, okay, so office ASMR, listener is an intern at an office, and you and I, the ASMR artist, am like the boss, right? Intern is underperforming. I tell them, go get me something from a closet, and then I corner them in the closet. I try to give them a talk about their performance, but then the office door won't open. It's locked, and we have to wait for someone to come get it out. And then the sexy shit happens, right? And then so from that point on, I have the next 90 minutes, because I try to make them all 2 hours, the next 90 minutes to just figure out something hot to do so that the audience can listen to it. And most of that is just letting... with ASMR especially, it's good to let there be some silence, right? Because it sort of makes it more relaxing if you leave a pause between what you say. And so what I do is I just sort of sit there, and if I can't think of something to say, I will be quiet and I'll just kind of make some cute faces and stuff like that. And I'll be reading chat very closely. I'll be reading chat, and then someone says, oh, please do this, please do that, please do that. And I suddenly think, oh, that's good. I won't respond to the chat. I will just then do that, what they asked for, and be like, oh, that's a good idea. And then you just keep that going and going and going. And everyone in chat is spamming the same thing. But yes, that stream ended in the final. I couldn't think of anything else to do for the final 20 minutes. So in the final 20 minutes, I pretended that the listener was giving me a blowjob. And that went on for about 10 minutes. That went on for about 10 minutes. And then as a result, the guac guac, this ASMR passed into the fucking annals of history. And no one will let me live it down. But you know what? All I did was make a few dirty comments and make some noises, and suddenly everyone can't stop talking about me. So to be honest, I see it as a win, personally.
My cheeks are hurting, dude. The gawk ASMR.
They will never forget. They'll never forget.
You bet your ass I'm gonna look up that one afterwards.
Oh no.
God, it's so insane. I love that shit. Dude, it's the funniest shit. Like, sometimes you're such a comedic genius. People are like, oh my god, your streams are scripted. I'm like, no, I'm just a comedic genius. What can I say? I'm just that funny.
It's such a great compliment to be called funny, you know, because being funny is hard.
It is! Like, people think it's just like such a natural. No, like, I pick my comments, okay? Like, if I don't have a funny comment, I just want to read the comment. I'll just move on. I'll just pretend I never saw it, and it's the alcohol. I'm such a giggly person. I'm sorry, chat. I swear, it gets better. It doesn't, but
it's all right. I think I might be able to attribute a lot of your success to that laugh, because it's a really lovely laugh, especially with like the snorting as well. I've never heard someone snort during a laugh so often, but then not be bothered by it, you know, because everyone who snorts when they laugh is like, oh my god, no, that was so embarrassing, but you're just like, yeah, I snort, what the fuck, whatever.
It just becomes such a... I'm just like, it doesn't even matter anymore. I can't turn it off. My laugh actually did change over time because people made fun of it so much. And I used to laugh very similar to Piccolo, right? It's like the ha 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 ha.
Oh.
Right? But and people made such fun of it because when I used to laugh by like inhaling air, and people might. I felt so self-conscious about it. It just eventually changed into just exhaling air when I laugh, and that's how this snorty laugh happened because I have no more air left, so I just go like. And that's when snort happened. But eventually I was just like, oh fuck this chat, I don't give a shit, like whatever, I snore, you deal with it.
That's so cute. What the fuck? For me, my laugh is always an inhale as well. Mine, like, mine is always like, you know,
Yes.
I sound like Jimmy Carr, the comedian, when I
Yeah,
laugh.
I
I'm
was
like,
just about to say, oh my god.
I don't know why. It's either that or if it's a small laugh, I just go.
Yeah.
I sound like I'm snoring.
But sometimes my snore is so strong it like hurts. I'm like, oh damn, that was a strong snort. It's just okay.
All right, I got another. On the subject of laughing, has there been something in recent memory that has like, because I don't get this a lot, but I had it recently. What is something that has genuinely made you like inconsolably cry laughing? Like something so funny that you were an absolute mess.
I remember the most recent one. There have been many occasions, but it's difficult to like recollect the memory at times. But the most recent one was the one where on Streamlabs you can set up parries, and I had this big issue where I don't want to lock communication with me. I'm a TTS ending, so like text to speech. Someone donates bits, and it has like a text to speech. Someone super chat, it has text to speech. I'm a big text to speech ending, but what text to speech does is it sometimes creates a huge backlog of messages where people have to wait like 20 minutes for their message to finally be on screen because it's just so much happening, so much robot voice talking. So I turned on parry, and what that does is you can make it that if there's another message in queue, it cuts off the message and it plays the next one. And you can put that shit to 0.5 seconds. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that just to fuck around. And it was so funny because the TTS voice just goes, hello, no, pause, get parried, pause, no. It was so funny. It was fucking hilarious. It was just like
especially with because TTS is funny anyway, you know.
Yeah.
It always reminds me of like when I used to, well, like I've seen a few clips of fucking XQC with his chat and the way they abuse the TTS creature. Like people say I sound like the TTS guy, where I'm like, hi, you're my favorite streamer, and I just wanted to let you know that you've really helped me like get through problems in my life. Just kidding, you suck 777,777,000. And I love the way that bot breaks over time. Like it starts with like 777 nonillion, 777 noctillion, 777 septillion, and then it goes out to the 777 nonillion.
It's so good.
And it just starts breaking over time. It's so good. I need to check out that clip. I need to watch that clip of you with the parrying, because that sounds so funny.
It's so my laugh just evolved into just like I just could not. It just I had no more oxygen. I couldn't breathe. It was just me messy, laughing, crying. My mascara was like all over my face. I was just crying.
That's the best feeling.
It was so good. It was insane.
Something just gets to you over time, and it's like you don't need it to make sense. It just made you laugh, and
it just
Okay. Everyone's asking me to. I'm gonna tell you about the last time that something got me, and this was on stream. So it was a Lyra Pandora's birthday. And we were talking about, because we have two dragons in NIJISANJI, and we were like, how does a dragon take a dump? Like, what do they do with the tail? Do they like wrap the tail around and hold it? Does the tail go off to the side? Does it like, do they flex and it goes erect and then they can poop and stuff like that? And then Shu starts posting, and I'll show you these two images, right? Shu starts posting, not in the VC text, he starts posting in our Discord, he starts posting in the collab ideas channel, for some reason, images of dogs pooping, and it was this one, so this is the unedited dog, and it's just this dog taking a dump, and it was like, yeah, it's gonna be like that. And then, you know what the magic bot is, right, on Discord? You know about the magic bot?
No, I don't know what it is. No, I have no idea, actually.
Well, you know about content-aware scaling, right?
No.
Okay. Well, content-aware scale is a thing in Photoshop where basically what it does is it lets you resize an image while trying to maintain the proportions of things in the image, but most of the time it just kind of fucks it up. You know, you know what I mean. And there's a bot in Discord called where you type .magic and it that's gotta for the drink. It like content aware scales the image for you. And the instant Shu posted this shitting dog, he asked the bot to content aware scale it. And I was looking at this channel while I was on that stream in the Totsumachi. I was on that stream and I saw the bot actively typing, which meant it was loading, and I thought, oh wait, what's it gonna look like? And it sends this image. And I was laughing for maybe 10 minutes with tears in my eyes.
Oh god.
Something about the fact I just look at it and I'm like, I'm like, oh my god, they took so much from him. What happened?
I like how the grass is all like, that's okay, but the dog is just like, what happened?
I'm putting him on the stream now. This is the dog. God. This is the dog that broke me. Just, there's so little left of him. He's this little wishbone-looking motherfucker, and I don't know why. It just completely broke me. And it was one of those things where it's like you're laughing a lot, and then you kind of calm down a bit, and you look back at the image, and then your laugh picks back up, and it takes a long time for you to settle down again.
It reminds me so much. I don't know if you know what I'm referring to. I tried to Google it. I can't fucking find it. The way it just like locks her up.
Sorry.
Wait. It reminds me of this fucking meme. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about. It's this meme with the cat, and it has this fucking Animal Crossing music over it, and the cat deforms more and more, just like this dog.
Oh, I've seen that one. Is it the black cat where its neck just keeps stretching and stretching and stretching?
That one.
Let me try and find that shit. Hold on.
I'm trying to find it, but I just can't. But it's so fucking funny. It's just cat and eyes,
there it
and
is.
the neck goes longer and longer.
There it is.
It's so good. It reminds me, the deformation reminds me so much of that meme.
The way its neck just gets longer and longer and longer.
And the way that the music, like, it's, I think it was like this Animal Crossing, and it just keeps distorting more and more. It's just, I'm so easily entertained.
Me too. I feel so blessed to just laugh at the dumbest shit imaginable. You know, I don't know if have you ever seen, are you familiar at all with Top Gear?
Yes, I do. Oh my god, I have this one fan that like posts Top Gear edits on my Reddit. It's so fucking funny.
Have you seen Bottom Gear, perhaps?
Yes,
You've seen Bottom Gear, let's go! The first time I watched that, I think before the dog, there was like a couple of years where I didn't laugh that hard. And Bottom Gear was the last one that really made me just fold into a deck chair laughing. It was so good. Just the amount of jokes that get rattled off so fast. It was like, Hammond, what have you done with the Lavo Chevy? I'm gonna crash in James's car, mate. Hammond, you sodding tic-tac, and this is my Lamborghini.
You have to watch it like 3 times to really catch everything that's going on. It's such genius editing. I love it.
I don't know why. It was the first one of that guy's videos that I've watched, and it just completely broke me. Like, it's, today on Medium Gear, what happened when taste exhaust fume? Okay, I'll have a whiff, and it's just the image of Jeremy Clarkson with like the wind buffeting his face. He's like, airy noise.
Why can't you do the fucking water? fucking accent so well. Oh my god.
Hammond and I have arrived on this talk show. We're not really sure why we're here.
Yes, Jeremy, well, there's something quite peculiar going on. Yeah, it's getting quite hard to drive the car. Oh god.
It's so good.
And of course, you've got Breaking Good as well, which I've been watching like on loop recently. Whenever I
have not seen Breaking Good.
It's really good. But if you're not familiar with Breaking Bad, it's probably not going to be good.
I am.
My chat have gotten really sick of me making Breaking Bad references, but I just can't stop myself.
It's comedy gold, Sam. What are you on about?
It is. Okay, you need to watch Breaking Good because it's just, I'm just remembering there are a bunch of times where there'll be just, I don't know, characters like Walt and Hank arguing with each other. It just cuts to Walt Jr. who says, I have nothing of substance to say. or Jesse being like, yeah, Mr. White, and Gus says, what do you mean the Matthew is up his nose? I'm taking your Steam account away, Mr. White. And like every single image, every time someone says anything to Walter, it just cuts that image of him looking shocked, like, oh. It's, oh.
Oh, it looks like he's about to have a fucking heart attack.
Hang on, wait, I'm gonna send you a meme that was on
Oh.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna send you a meme from this. Hold on.
Send me that good shit.
Where is it?
Oh god, I'm crying. I cannot.
This one pops up, and I don't know. It's something about how much this series has devolved over time based on all the memes. It's just fucking fantastic.
I can't.
I fucked Hank. Oh no.
God, that's the same face I make on the shitter. Jesus Christ. Why is it called a rescue and I'm fighting for my fucking life? I cannot. Oh, I don't know why, but the low quality of the image, the pixels, just it adds to the fucking humor.
I love how I watched that happening in real time. You know, like the whole the trend of memes being in low quality specifically, you can see that evolving in real time. Like, I was on fucking Facebook in 2010, 2009, 2011, and you saw memes getting reposted where they organically became lower quality. And since then, it's just become a thing where it's always happened. You know, where memes just become funnier because they're deep fried, and the more deep fried they are, it just gets worse.
It's the same when they're like low quality audio wise. It just adds something to the meme where it's just like the quality is so bad. It's so bass boosted and crispy in your head. It sounds like fucking pop rocks. It's so good. Oh god. Jesse, we're coke!
Jesse, we're coke!
I cannot. Oh my god. Oh, why is this so fucking funny?
Why is making something of lower quality make it funnier? Hold on, I have to show chat. This is the one where, like, whenever I meet up with my friends, I can't stop quoting this. Like, they'll just turn to me and be like, what's going on? I'm like, Jesse, we're coke.
We're coke. I hate it because, like, I'm such a memester where people probably get upset about me because every time something happens, I have to quote a meme somehow.
Me too. Me too. It's like, what is it? You're texting someone, they're like, oh wow, he must be really thinking about what he's gonna say to me, and me, I'm looking through my Google photos, like where the fuck is that meme I saved 3 years ago? This is perfect for this.
Dude, I once did late stream by like 20 minutes because I was looking for this meme where this stock image of this man like putting his finger in his mouth. It looks like he's like sucking it like a like he's eating something really small off his fingers because someone posted.
Oh yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Where it's like it's like the whole tiny creature on someone's finger. Next image, someone licking his finger as though he's eating the tiny creature, and there's Jesse Pinkman going, no, no.
And I watched the light stream by 20 whole minutes just so I have the fucking meme. It was so good. I'm sorry for laughing. Oh my god.
No, it's great.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's so good.
It's the alcohol. Like I'm naturally such a giggly person, but I get so much worse because of the just like obnoxious laughter.
Honestly, no. I get that too. Like the amount of just stupid shit that makes me laugh is insane, and I feel like our lives are better for it. The fact that some stupid ass shit is enough to make us laugh. Just a really low resolution 4-bit image of Walter White saying "Jesse, work hog" is enough to just really get us to die.
I once had like a really deep conversation about like a topic that was near and deep to me. I'm starting to slur my speech a bit. I'm so sorry. And and then suddenly this TTS comes in. That's just Brian saying lettuce. I lost it so hard.
Letters.
Lettuce.
Lettuce.
And just like Chad is just like, you're so easily entertained. Just fucking lettuce. And she lasted for like 20 minutes.
Hold the phone.
Like,
There's hold the phone. Hold the fucking phone. There's a meme of this. There's a meme of this I want to show you. Hold on. Wait. Brian, Stewie, Griffin, sex. I promise I'm not looking at that for no reason. There it is.
Your FBI agent raising an eyebrow.
Hold on a minute. Let me send this to you. Hold on.
Oh god, I need to watch this. It's sex. Why is it so good?
I wish I could show chat, but chat, it is copyrighted content from a cartoon, so there's no way that you can see it. Just if you look up Brian and Stewie sex on YouTube and then find the first YouTube short that pops up, no sex happens. They're just very terrified by the concept of sex, okay?
Oh god, it reminds me of like, I don't know why it's funny to me. I think to most it's annoying, but when I tweet something and the reply under the tweet is literally just like someone posting this picture of Ina from How to Life bobbing her head with just the caption sex. It's so funny to me. It's just like, yeah, sex.
Sex.
I don't know, there's something so funny. It's so out of I think the out of context makes it funny. It just has no place being there, which is what makes it funny.
I think it's the absence of context, and it's like just random ass memes that I think are the funniest of all. You know, where you've got just, oh my god, I couldn't even begin to describe it to you, but you understand exactly what I'm saying. Like memes that have absolutely no relevance to one another. I remember I was mentioning a month or so ago, there was a Minecraft stream I had where I was like, the funniest memes in the world are the ones where it's a tweet with an image and the caption has absolutely nothing to do with the image. And one of my fans tweeted under my live tag, it was just an image of a man in a very comically large car, and the caption was just eating soap, and I was laughing at that for about 15 minutes. It didn't make any sense whatsoever, but I loved it, right?
It's so good. There's also this one meme. Maybe I can share it. It's on this cursed website whose name I rather not say it, but I think I can copy the link of it.
Let me have a look.
Because it's a GIF, so I don't know how else to share it. It's such a dumb fucking meme, but I lost it for like 20 minutes. Just like it's just I lost it for so long. Oh god, how does it play the GIF? Oh, you have to be on the website.
All right, I'm gonna open the website.
It's just.
The fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
I'm sorry. saw it, I was just like, why is this funny?
Okay, this isn't too far. I'm gonna describe this to my chat. So, it's a GIF with some very beautiful, like, it's got a sort of a Times New Roman, like a serif font. It's got some, like, nice salmon pink embroidered flowers, a nice sort of dark gray background. Like, it looks like a logo. And there are 4 words. Art is anal cheese. And they're all on different sides of the screen. And they slowly come together. And it says artisanal cheese. And you're like, Now, me personally, art might very well be anal cheese, but maybe we're not ready to really address that at this point. Maybe we as a society haven't advanced far enough to really comprehend that yet.
God, I can't. The way you said it, by the way, it all comes together. It reminds me of this fucking meme from Twilight, where Bella just goes, "I want to come," and then, and then, I think his name was Edward. He just goes, "I don't want you to come." And it's just what? Why did they script it like that?
I remember I was watching one of my favorite movies, Phantom Thread, with my members recently, and there's a line where this very posh lady is having her dress made, and she's inviting the tailor to her wedding, and she's like, "Will you come?" And he's like, "I don't think I can." It's like, "I really must insist that you come." And it was. You just can't watch that without a straight face. But then you learn about the creators of the film and the way they're like, and the way they know all of that humor and stuff. And the main character's name is Reynolds Woodcock, and they're like, and it's like, how do you come up? It's like, how do you sit down and give Daniel Day-Lewis a script and say you're playing Reynolds Woodcock, and then Paul Thomas Anderson says, well, he came up with the name.
Oh, I cannot. It's so good. It's I recently played Alien Isolation on Steam, and I just thought it was funny coincidence that everything looks so sus. I'm not sure if people know what I'm referring to, but basically everything looks like a coochie or a dick. And it just and apparently it's on purpose because it's inspired by this one dude who literally designs these like alien predatory creatures to look fuckable while also looking scary. It's just like the whole game is so sus.
Thing is, as for my money, I don't think you really need to make something look fuckable for it to be fuckable. I mean, we both know Bao and Vienna, and we know exactly the kind of shit that they're into. It doesn't exactly need to be fuckable for it to work. I mean, I get Bowser, but also Bowser is definitely very fuckable. But I feel as though there's a certain extent where you don't need to make something conventionally attractive. If something's a hideous monster with a long tongue, it's gonna work, you know.
It's just working. It's just everyone's gonna be like, oh, yes.
I think it might be one of the ways that like corporate people and like design people kind of underestimate male-focused sexuality, where, you know, they really released Venom in 2018 and didn't think people would want to fuck Venom. Like, excuse me?
Right! Like, have you seen a tongue? Of course!
Have you seen, he's a fucking big beefcake with really sharp teeth and a big tongue. Like, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, people wanted to fuck Ultron. People wanted to fuck the xenomorphs from Alien. You know, there's no limit to what people will want to fuck. So you just need to know, give them the features that they can use to do some good work, and then there's no real cap to what they can really achieve, you know.
It's I did that joke today, and you know, Overwatch is not necessarily known for its gameplay, not entirely. Let's just say there's something else apart from the gameplay. As much as I love the game, that keeps the game alive, right?
She's talking about the porn, chat.
And I was like, you know, everyone knows Diva and Mercy and shit like that, but it's also like, you underestimate how much Roadhog there is. Like, there's so much of it.
I've seen it. There's a lot of Roadhog. I've seen.
Yeah.
I remember the one Roadhog one I can remember is one where it's Route 66 and he's giving Tracer the business and his dick is like the size of her entire body. I was like, Jesus Christ, she's dead. She is dead after this.
She is dead. There's no way it works, but sure, you know, it's just. I love that post nut clarity when you close your phone, you lock your screen, and you just see yourself in the reflection.
You see yourself in that black mirror, and you're just like, what have I become? What am I doing?
What am I doing? Ew, that was so gross. And then next day it's just like, oh well.
Next day, nothing changes. It's like, all right, I'm now here. I am looking up diva source filmmaker porn yet again.
Here we go again.
I'm back on my bullshit.
God, I'm gonna have to add a bit more iced tea to this because
It's a little strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no worries there. The amount of times that I've tried to mix a drink and I sip it and I'm like, oh god, it's a little too much.
Also, not to worry, chat. I swear I'm an adult. I know how to pace myself. Sometimes everything hits at once, but I swear I'm a responsible adult. I know how to pace myself. It will be alright.
Exactly.
I have a god liver. It sobers up in no time. If I just choose some weak stuff to level it, it'll be fine. Not
Yeah,
to
this will be
worry
fine.
anyone.
I've got another question for you.
Yes!
This one is from Eleita, who's another fan of mine. And so you and I both have relative catchphrases. Mine was during my debut. I had this scene in my lore video where I said, "That's my girl," and now everyone wants me to say that, like Hal from Howl's Moving Castle. And you've obviously got the womp womp. There's another thing here where they ask about or the SMG clip. Do you know what that's referring to?
I don't know. Okay, so there's two things I think it refers to. One, I can rapid fire burp. So I can burp on command. Most people can. But I can rapid fire burp. So that's one thing they could mean with SMG. Or just the thing about it kind of viral because I don't know why. I don't think it was. You ever have those clips that go viral and you're like, I do so much funny shit. Why did this go viral? It's funny, sure, but it's really kind of just average humor. And so it's just this clip where I just go, I don't play any FPS ever, but Zen invited me to play Apex and I wanted to be prepared. I was like, I didn't want to be complete dead weight, so I practiced the game a little bit just the day before, and I didn't know what this gun was called, so I just go like I was like, and then somewhere it just goes to SMG, and I just go, the SMG, that's the one, that's the name. That's yeah.
You can do that so much faster than I can. What the fuck?
Yeah, people meme when I say like no. Sometimes I go like, no. And people meme. They're like, how's it so fast? And I'm just like, I'm a fast one.
Machine Gun Lily, we'd love to see it. Basically, all the question was can we do each other's catchphrases?
Oh, so okay. So I just do like, I can't do it justice, but I will try my best.
You try and do it in the most in the deepest, most Ecumen voice you can possibly imagine.
That's my girl.
Man, I'm dead. No care. What the fuck? I'm dead. Okay. And then my job is a little easy. I just have to like perk up, be a little,
Grandma.
Womp womp. Womp womp.
Oh my god, it's so fucking cute. I'm gonna clip that shit so hard. You bet your ass.
Okay, whatever makes you happy.
Oh my god, can you burp on command? Like, can you do the
I
thing
actually can't. I think if I could,
cannot? Oh my god.
I think if I could, I would be too powerful.
Can't contain that much power. it's a talent, I suppose.
I wish I could. I genuinely wish I could because I would be too powerful. I can armpit fart.
You can't. I try. I'm like, I cannot. I can.
No.
Wait, hold on. I have to fart.
I have to fart for real.
Okay.
There was a part of me that thought you were genuinely going to just do that right now. Like, just squeeze a little and fart on command. I would have been so mad. The amount of times I would have tortured my chat by farting on command.
I wish I could fart on command, but unfortunately the bullshit is coming out of my mouth only, so too bad.
Okay, this is an interesting question. So both of us, what is the best bad decision you've ever made? E.g., getting sloshed so hard you pass out in a bush on campus, choosing to stay inside the trunk of your friend's car during a trip, etc. Do you have any stories where you made a bad decision, but it turned out to be really fun or hilarious or something?
The best bad decision that's gonna come out as such a like, oh my god, Lydia's trying to be so wholesome. But the reason I'm streaming is because I lost a bet. So
really?
we were memeing like, yeah, we were memeing the shit out of like Minecraft YouTubers and Minecraft. Nothing against them, I swear. But you know, when you're younger, it was kind of like a meme, like just become a Minecraft streamer. And I lost a bet, and they dared me to go live and stream Minecraft, and that's how technically my whole streaming career started. So I guess that's like a shitty childish thing I agreed to that ended up being my whole career. Literally who I am today.
That's incredibly sweet.
Yes.
I can't even think of what mine would be, to be honest. Whenever I make bad decisions, I feel like they wind up terribly.
What else would there be?
What else would there be? I don't know.
Sometimes it's difficult to come up with those things to answer, and then you go to bed and you're just about to fall asleep, and you're like, I could have said this.
It's like punching the air in the shower. You go to take a shower and you're
yeah.
damn it! You know, damn it! I could have said this. I could have said that.
I saw this really cute comment in your chat, just going, Vox doesn't make mistakes. That's so wholesome. Fuck, man. I blush.
All right, this is another good question. So for both of us, since Halloween is on its way, have you experienced any spooky or supernatural happenings to you or someone else that you know?
Here's the thing. I grew up always having pets. Cats, dogs, sometimes many, sometimes little. So every time there may have been something supernatural, I got so conditioned into believing, oh, it's just my cat, it's the dog, it's some sort of noise that's explainable. So I don't really believe in those things per se. Because I always had something to blame. I'm like, if the door opened, or if there was a noise that I couldn't explain, or if something was placed differently, I could always blame my cats or dogs or birds, whatever pet I had at the time. So, you know, it's difficult. So I don't recall seeing anything or paranormal lately.
That's interesting. I mean, I sort of have the same thing, where for me, I don't know how much I believe in it. I mean, I'm a demon, so I'm technically a supernatural creature. But, you know, I feel like I'm not all that scary. But when I think about supernatural happenings, I don't think I've ever really experienced anything too much. The one that I can think of is when I was very, very young, and I was walking around the corner, or through a field behind my house to go and visit a friend of mine, and I was walking through, and I swear I turned around, I looked at the trees, and I heard something go like that, and I actually just turned around and ran, because when I was that age, I used to be scared of everything. I used to get scared. I was too scared to watch the second Harry Potter movie. Like, I was such a baby. I watched the first Harry Potter movie and I was like, yeah. And then he grabbed the dude's face at the end and he turned to stone and I was like, you know, just like supernatural deaths and ghosts and stuff. I was scared of being scared because shit affected me so much when I was a kid.
Damn, that's crazy.
Shit used to affect me so much. There was one, it was an episode of The Simpsons
that gave me like the longest standing fear that I had, and it made me so paranoid. So basically, it's this episode of The Simpsons where Marge writes a steamy romance novel, and Marge writes this steamy romance novel where it's like lady in old New American New England lives in this hut all by the sea, and Homer in this story is like an abusive husband and is a fisherman who's like, wife, give me my mead and all that, and he's just a nasty guy to be around. But across the land, there's Ned Flanders, who's this really handsome sailor who's very kind and lovely and ripped and everything, and he's beautiful. And she's writing this as like a sort of a female-targeted romance novel. But the way the novel ends in the episode, I remember sat there on the sofa watching this, and it just, I don't know why, it struck me so much. The way it ends is that Homer has like this harpoon on the edge of a cliff, and he throws it at Ned Flanders, and it goes right through him and impales him, and he falls off the cliff and is eaten by a shark. And I was like, God damn. And then as that happened, I was like, oh my God, that was so much. And then the rope from the harpoon tangles around Homer's leg and drags him into the abyss after him. And I don't know why. Ever since then, I used to have this bed at my parents' house where it was like a bunk bed, you know, where you've got like two beds, one on top of the other, but there was no bottom bunk. It was like a desk with a computer underneath it, and then on the top bunk was your bed.
Fancy.
I used to sleep in one of those, and I developed this fear that in the middle of the night, some man with a harpoon or a long spear would walk into my room underneath the bed and would just like stick it up through the mattress and impale me. And I was genuinely scared of that for like months. Every night for months. If I heard the slightest bump in the night, I would like check. There's no strange man in my room, is there? Okay, good. Go back to sleep. And I hear like a... You know the pipes in your house go like boom, and I'm like, oh, somebody's in here trying to kill me. Somebody's in here trying to kill me. I used to get so paranoid of shit so fast. It was bad. It was bad. I mean, I'm better now. Someone on Twitter has already found the Brian Stewie sex meme we were talking about.
Okay. There are files on Twitter, damn. Yeah, I feel like I never had that. I was always really freaking chill, because I just blamed pets and other shit on the noises. Oh, it's an old house. Oh, it's a pet. Oh, it's cars. Whatever. I always was able to blame something on noises. I didn't care much. Also, there's this thing. I didn't learn about it until I was like much older. Sleep paralysis. Apparently, I always had it. But I'm fucking tired, so when I wake up because of sleep paralysis and I can't move, I'm like, whatever, I just go back to bed. I'm just like, alright, this is sure. Well, as long as I'm not, too awake, I can fall asleep again. It's just like, I didn't learn until just like 2 or 3 years ago that people are terrified of sleep paralysis, and I'm just like,
I'm terrified of sleep paralysis, like so much. I'm a side sleeper. I can only sleep on my side because I'm scared of sleep paralysis. I've never had it, touch wood, and I never want to. I never would. Oh, excuse me. I've never wanted to have sleep paralysis. It's such a scary concept to just have the idea of some evil creature sat on your chest and like scaring you when you can't move. That's so terrifying. Oh my God, I really don't want to. I really never want to experience that. Touch wood. I never want to experience that.
Maybe it's more like, yeah, I'm ready. Take me. I'm there for it.
I've lived long enough. I want some demon to jump on top of me.
Come on, Xenomorph, do your thing. I'm just like, yep, I'm here for it. It's okay. I'll just be like, damn, you took your time, girl. About damn time you show up. When your sleep paralysis demon is too hot. Ah, shit, girl, damn.
Ah, shit. I mean, hey, come on in. Welcome.
The door's wide open, girl. Come on in.
I can't. Oh God, I can't get over that shit. I mean, it would be lovely. It would be lovely if instead of some hideous demon creature standing on your chest and screaming, it was some beautiful lady who comes in to keep you company while you have sleep paralysis. Like, oh wow, that would be lovely. But then, oh no. Oh, okay. Apparently not.
Just stop looking at sleep paralysis. Demon shows up. Peter, the voice is here.
We were talking about this yesterday. Okay, I feel like I have to show that one. It's this meme where the Family Guy family are sat at a table and everything's normal. It plays like the little intro jingle, and then a horse just walks in through one door, and Lois turns to Peter and she says, "Peter, the horse is here." And Peter looks at the horse, and is it Peter or the horse that plays the little cartoon walking sound that goes?
I don't know who does, but it's so fucking funny. I just love Family Guy memes. They're so good.
That's something that's something that you would genuinely just see in a dream. Peter the horse is here. Let me look this up. Real quick.
This is like some nightmare fuel where you're just like, okay, yeah. All right, that just happened. The giant horse is here. Weighs over 11 pounds.
Fuck you! Oh wait, the meme I found isn't. It's not the. It's Jack Black saying "fuck you."
Send it. I need to see it.
It's got a bit of Minecraft cave ambience to it as well. This is pretty good.
Oh, I love that. It's
Peter,
perfect.
the horse is here. It's such a low resolution video. I love it so much.
Yeah, I don't know if it's low resolution on purpose. Oh my god, the next recommended video is just the fucking where he turns. What was his name? He turns into a toilet. His face turns into the fucking toilet seat. It's the dude who goes giggity giggity.
Chat, I know you can hear it. It's fine. No one's gonna say shit about that. Chat, just don't tell. Just don't say it. Just don't tell anybody. Okay, it's fine.
Don't snitch, chat.
Don't snitch. All right, don't tell Susan. All right, you guys are already keeping a lot of secrets about my ASMR. Don't tell them. Okay.
Good. Just don't snitch, and everything will be fine.
I've been smuggling softcore porn onto YouTube for years. I ain't letting them stop me now over some fucking Family Guy joke. You guys better not snitch.
God. Can you imagine just like your whole content is just like Akuma bait, softcore, thirst trap stuff, but then what gets you bong just like some fucking Family Guy meme?
Oh, I would be so mad. Like after all this, after making my listeners give me blowjobs on stream, like everything like that is just completely unpunished, and then what? Like some audio of Peter Griffin saying. That's what gets me. That's what fucks me over in the end.
Like I know Chet knows, but I somewhat recently got like a 3-day bonk from Twitch.
I heard about that. Yeah, well, you had your 3D and you kind of stuck your hand up your cooter like, and Twitch were like, all right, no thanks to that, even though you're just a 3D model.
I had this theory where on Twitch, maybe it's on YouTube. On Twitch, because you're a VTuber, you're viewed as a cartoon. As a cartoon, you have to be more family friendly. That's my theory. Because I feel like what I did, of course I was lewd, but like that was not worth a 3-day ban. Yeah, it was definitely, lewd joke. I shoved the pear up my cooch, like yo kid when I see a magic trick. But like I've seen so much worse on Twitch, but only Flash tubers. So I'm convinced it's just like my theory is if you're a VTuber, you are labeled as cartoon, and you can't make 18+ content. It doesn't work. You have to be family friendly.
God, it sucks because they have the whole hot tub category on Twitch now.
Right? They literally have softcore porn on their website.
Let ourselves get like swimsuit models made, and let us just sit in like a 2D hot tub and do what all the other cool flesh tubers do.
Right? I have like now, because of the new outfit I have a kiddie pool I can put in the background. So if I don't want to wear my pants, I can still have like my swimsuit outfit, but there's a kiddie pool in the background. I know flash tubing and how it works. I know how to get around the system. I'll just become a hot tub streamer.
It is fun to like figure out ways of sort of bending the rules when you want to make content that sort of pushes it. Like for me with my ASMR, I looked at the community guidelines and it's like, okay, you may not make content specifically with the intention to arouse, and I'm like, bet, okay, I'm gonna make content that is meant to tell a story
that involves sexual aspects. You know, it's like I'm not trying to arouse people. I'm trying to arouse myself.
It's their fault if they get.
I'm trying to arouse myself. Anyone else gets aroused as a result, that ain't my problem. That ain't my fault. If YouTube ever comes to me on that, I'll be like, now listen. Have you guys been, like, are you trying to tell me about your preferences? And they'll be like, well, no. And then I'm like, well, yeah, well, leave me alone then.
Oh god, I love those loopholes where it's just like, well, it's your fault if you get aroused. That's clearly not my intention at all.
It's like I wasn't intending that at all. It's like, you know, for me, office blowjobs are a very say-so activity. You know, no one really, no one does that for sexual gratification. It's just fun, you know, like with the homies, a bro job. There's nothing wrong with that.
No homo. Oh god, I wanted to say speaking of, it has nothing to do, but I have to go for a piss so bad.
You go and go piss, girl. It's fine. I will.
I'm just like.
Off she goes. All right, she teleported inside of me. Incredible. She slotted inside my shirt. She's gonna go take a piss in there, all right, chat. So don't worry about it. That's okay.
I'm so sorry, I did not mean to take your lord like that. It's mirrored. I didn't know.
You're gonna have to fight people for that. You're gonna have to fight them.
I'm so sorry, chat. Please, I did not. I'll come out in just a second. I swear, I will not do anything unholy. I'll be right back. I need to pee so fucking
Nothing
bad.
unholy aside from a piss. You go enjoy your piss. Hi, chat. Thank you very much for coming today. I've been really having fun today. How are you guys feeling today? Where? This collab has been going really, really well. I feel like as a person who doesn't have great people skills, hosting a talk show is a terrible idea, but it seems to be going pretty well. I kind of reading a lot of YouTube comments and trying to figure out like how to make this show better, and I feel like I'm getting good at it, you know? This has been a pretty good episode. Please give us a bro job. But are you a bro? That's the question. But are you a bro? Ask yourself this. How do you prove it? You want a bro job? How are you going to prove that you're a bro? You going to give me a bro job? Huh? Oh, Jesus Christ, excuse me. Peter, the horse is here. I'm gonna watch another one of those.
Peter. The horse is here.
The horse is here.
The horse is here.
That was it. That's the one with the cartoon sound effect. I found it. Welcome back.
I have a wireless headset, so I'm just like listening to the stream as I'm like furiously pissing out of all my holes. And I have to tell you, your lord is full of shit. He has great people skills. Like,
Oh, shut the fuck.
He is great, isn't it? Just say yes. He is great. Like, appreciate your lord a little bit.
All right, thank you very much. You saying pissing furiously just reminds me of that comic where it was like, hey dude, check out how hard I can piss, and it's the dude just goes and just the entire massive stream of piss just shooting into the ground, and there's like that, it zooms in on the other stick figure, and so much emotion is portrayed in the way that he feels. You know, the way that, like, that empty blank face, there is so much feeling there.
I had pissing competitions with an old friend of mine, years before I even became a VTuber, and I don't know if guys have the same ability, but as a girl, your piss beam, it's violent, it's vicious, it's like it is powerful, okay? It's very powerful. The thing is, if you're outside in public and you both need to wee, you just find a secret place for you both to wee. So we did exactly that. And if you angle things right, you can piss incredibly far. And so we made it a competition of who can piss the farthest. And we were just like squatting down and just like 3, 2, 1, go, and it's just pissing furiously.
Did you measure what distance can you get with your piss? Tell me.
Oh god, I'm so sorry to all the hamburger people, but I only know like the boring ass metric system. But I definitely can piss like far above 2 meters for sure. I can get that beam up and
Damn, that ain't bad.
going. Right? It's impressive, no?
That ain't bad at all. I don't know if I can piss that far. You know what? I actually have to piss myself. I might have to go and check. Hold on.
That's alright.
I'm going to go and check. Alright, I'll be back in just a moment. You look after my chat, okay?
Yes, but I'll look after them. I will cherish them like they're my own.
Very good.
There he goes.
I'll be back in a moment,
chat.
okay?
He'll be back in a bit. Don't cry. Chat, don't cry. Oh my fucking god, don't cry. What do I do with all these children? Fuck. Okay, this is fine. He'll be back, I promise. I hope y'all had a great day. I'm sorry that I'm a bit intrusive. I know I'm a loud person. I'm very self-aware, but it's difficult to change, especially when the alcohol suppresses your suppressors. You know what I'm talking about? I can fix myself. I can fix him. No, but I can fix myself, but I know I laugh a lot, so please forgive. I'm just a very happy, giggly person, and obviously, my lord, it's just a joy to be with. So, thank you so much for having me, chat. I hope it's been a blast. Thank you. You've been absolutely fucking precious. Ooh. I hope you all drink responsibly. I know it doesn't sound like I do, but I swear I drink responsibly, very much so. I'm really liking the lychee liquor. Not to disappoint anyone, but the sake is it's great, but I prefer to mix that one. But the lychee though, ooh, you hear that? That's some good shit. It's really sweet. It's dangerous because it doesn't even taste like there's alcohol inside. Anyway, I hope you keep supporting me, Lord. He puts a lot of effort into these shows, you know? Like, he cares a lot about you guys. I hope he doesn't have a wireless headset. If so, fuck you! If not, he cares a lot. He cared a lot about making this a very pleasant experience by making sure we hang out beforehand. We played some Overwatch yesterday. With him, who was there? Fulgur and Uki. And it was great. And he's great at Overwatch too. So he cares a lot. So I hope you guys appreciate that. He wanted to make sure this is a good experience. So he wanted to make sure we get to know each other. He spent his free time playing Overwatch with me for like, how long did we play? Like 3 hours or so. He cares a lot. So I hope you understand that and see all the work that goes into this also off stream. Oh. So I hope you keep supporting him. Thank you so much. You're doing the right thing. Thank you, thank you. You appreciate everything about him. That's good, yes. You're rambling, no more alcohol? I'm not rambling, I swear to God. The thing with alcohol, maybe my speech is slurry and my motor skills are getting fucked, but I know what I'm doing mentally. Oh, hello. Welcome back, my lord. We were only shit talking here.
What's going on? You're only shit talking. Chat. What was she talking about?
Don't tell him, chat. He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
She wants me to not know, and as a result, I have to know.
He doesn't know. Don't tell him. Don't tell him shit.
Nothing? Someone.
Just tell him
one of these
doesn't
motherfuckers
know.
is gonna snitch. One of them's gonna snitch.
Just say he doesn't know and laugh. It's a Twitch meme. It's hilarious. Don't worry. It's funny, right?
I'll have to watch the VOD. I'm gonna
Don't
go back.
snitch,
I'll
chat.
figure it.
Don't
I'll figure it out eventually. Nothing at all. All right. My chat knows how to stay quiet. They've been hiding porn from Susan this whole time.
Yeah, it's good. Thank you, chat, for doing that. You are the real bros. It's always nice to be able to make content that's like tippy-toeing a line, but you know, I feel like why not?
So, having returned from the bathroom, I found another question, which is actually bathroom related, and it comes with the most vile, disgusting Shrek shitting gif I've ever seen in my life.
Shrek is so hot. Oh my god, I had a Shrekathon just recently.
Shrekathon?
Oh god, that meme just escalated. Holy shit, he just spray paints the whole couch.
It coats the couch. It's disgusting.
In one frame, it's there.
All
Holy shit.
The question is, now both of us are known for clogging toilets. Do we know each other's shit-related stories?
In all honesty, I don't know yours, to be honest.
I don't know yours either, honestly.
Oh god.
Okay.
Maybe you should start, because my story is a long one. So
Okay, I'll start with mine. Okay, so
Yeah,
my chat already knows this, but I will tell it for you. So, the year is 1999. It is New Year's Eve. It is New Year's Eve. It's the dawn of Y2K. And I'm hanging out with some friends. We've been going to we're going to all sorts of different places. We're in hopping bars, getting drunk, having a good time, enjoying the celebrations. People have been out in the streets. Some people are paranoid about the technology. Some people are just having a good time. Whatever. And we get home. And I'm shit-faced. And I lie down on my friend's couch. And I'm just sloshing around, trying to stay awake. Just really drunk. Like, and one of my friends puts a movie on. They put on The Emperor's New Groove. And I'm sat there and I'm watching it. And in the first couple...
llama?
Yeah, with David Spade as a llama. The first time...
Okay.
The first scene, I'm watching it, I fall asleep, and then I wake up. And the thing about falling asleep when you're drunk is that you don't notice when you fall asleep. You wake up, and you don't even realize you've been asleep at all. For me, I had actually slept for 3.5 hours, but it felt like no time at all to me. And I woke up, it was about 3 a.m. All my friends were just lounging around, weren't really doing anything. And I woke up, and instantly I felt something within me. And I turned to them and I said, I have to take a shit. And so I just stood up.
That sounds so wrong.
I went to my mate's toilet, and I sat down, and it was New Year's Eve, and I was thinking about the news. I was just relaxing, thinking about everything that was going to happen in the next year, thinking about the nightmares that were going to come from all the technological advancement, you know, Y2K, everything. And I was actually on the toilet thinking about this for a good 30 minutes. And I stood up, and I turned around, and I saw the iceberg that had sank the Titanic. I saw Mount Everest. I saw the planet Mars in my mate's toilet. And I sat there and I thought, oh shit. And I tried to flush it. No dice. It was too big. It would not go down. And I thought, oh shit. And so I just sat there trying to flush it. The toilet was full of poopy water now. And so I just was like, oh god. And I went back to the living room, and all my friends, they knew I'd been gone for a while, and they knew I'd been gone for a while, and they were all hiding, and they were gonna like, oh, he's been gone for ages, let's like jump out and surprise him. I was just like, you know, it was like whatever. And so I went back into the room, and I opened the door, and before they could do anything, I just said, mate, I'm afraid I've clogged your toilet. Just full of defeat. And then it wound up getting sorted out, but I've never forgotten the fact that I just awoke in someone's house, destroyed his plumbing, and then made him clean up after me. The great poop of 99.
At least you didn't like try and scoop it out. I've heard stories of people doing the exact same thing.
Like with their bare hands?
I don't know how they scooped it, but they tried to scoop it and like throw it out the window or into the trash can. At least they didn't do that.
Oh, that's disgusting. Jesus
Oh
Christ. Poop scissors, you try and reduce each chunk in size, just chop it in half.
Oh god, they didn't have a poop knife. It's all about the poop knife. That should be everything.
Get the cutting board out, have a knife and fork, you know, prepare some... Chop it like you chop an onion. Just
Makes you cry like one too.
Oh, no. No. bet then. What is your toilet clogging story? Do enlighten me.
Let's see if I can keep it short, because there is some important detail that's difficult to not mention. I had to go. My family lives in Germany. I don't, so I had to go visit them. The occasion doesn't matter because it would kind of ruin the comedic value of the story. So I come to visit them early in the morning, really early, like at least for me. I'm a fucking degen, so 7 a.m. is early to me.
Yeah, me too.
And I've been constipated for days. I couldn't shit for like a week and a half. I don't know what the fuck happened. I've just been constipated. It's God. So I go into this train. I got to my family by train. I had no other choice. COVID was a big issue, so train it was. 8-hour train ride. The first half an hour into the first train, I feel this in my stomach. I'm like, oh no. I hear the, but it's alright. I can still suppress it. But then I look at the time and I'm like, bro, I still have to travel by train like 7 fucking more hours. I need to go now or not at all. There's no debating that. And I go to the toilet. Everything was alright. Toilet was taken. Still alright. But you know how it is when you're constipated and suddenly you're not? With the fucking snap of a finger, you have to shit bad. So out of nowhere, I could barely even hold. I'm doing like the pee pee poo poo dance in the train, like I have like to hold my shit in. There's like a lion in front of the fucking toilet, and I'm just like, no. I squeeze myself through these people. I'm like, it's my turn. So I sit down. And oh my god, I gave birth to like the biggest. I gave birth to like the biggest thing I've ever given birth. It was massive. I had no idea I had the ability to stretch to such dimensions. It was huge. To make things worse, I'm so sorry, chat, but this gets a lot more gross. I was on my period too.
No! No!
So I just expel my demons into this toilet, and now this is important. I'm gonna have to get a quick PNG of a train toilet. So you all know my
Please
pain.
show me. I will be able to share it with my chat so they can see.
Okay, this is very important. So you need to show this to chat, else they won't understand my problem.
Okay, I will show. Right. Okay, hold on.
You can already
Hold
see where
on a
this is
minute.
going.
Hold on a minute. Save image as.
Let me know when that bitch is on screen.
So, Chad,
Because-
she is dealing with
Ooh.
this toilet.
It is, yep. So we're dealing with this. You see the opening of the hole? Clearly, for the monstrosity I gave birth to, that is too small. But hey, I flush anyways. Quick side note, the train is standing still. It's parked, or whatever the fuck it's called when a train
Right.
stands still. So, you know, after I'm done, it's just poop. First saw it's like a cork got loose out of my body. It's just like the sort of cork came out and then just soup, poop soup, you know. And just like there's poop and blood because, you know, period, there exists, chat. And it's just there's so much going on. I flush. And this is where things start to become a problem.
Oh, now is when things start to become a problem. Okay.
Because if you haven't quite noticed, that hole is very fucking small. I wipe and flush and all of that, and it doesn't go down. Water is coming, but nothing's flushing.
Oh no.
So I'm like, okay, let's flush again. Water's coming, and nothing's flushing. I'm like, let's flush again. Water's coming, and nothing's flushing. It just keeps rising. The water levels keep rising more and more and more. To the point where I shit you not, or rather, I shit a lot. It's at the brim of the toilet. Which is where I'm like, well, I can no longer flush because it's literally going to to overflow the toilet. So I stare at this monstrosity I gave birth to. That's just like this poop and blood soup swirling in this public train toilet. And I'm like, well, there's no emergency button, no emergency number, there's no plunger, nothing. There's fucking nothing in there.
So what did you
what
do?
So I did what every normal person would do. And I left. I left that mess there for someone else to deal with. And the thing is, the door opened. Remember how there was a line?
Yeah.
I just kind of cut in. The door opens. I step out. This handsome, tall individual steps in and just stares at my fabrication as the door slowly closes behind him. And remember how I tried to flush until it was at the brim? The train was, if in case you missed the detail, was standing still. As the door slowly comically closed behind the person, the train started moving, and I'm pretty damn fucking sure, physics applied, that shit spilled. So that is the birth of the poop soup. And why I can no longer ride public transport.
That wasn't a story. That was a saga, nary a saga. That was a trilogy, and just event after event, disaster after disaster. Things got worse and worse and worse.
It's
oh
it's
my
a nightmare.
god!
Bomb has been planted. Fuck, man.
Bomb has been planted.
Yeah, I don't know what I was supposed to do. In all honesty, tell me what I was supposed to do. I don't know. There was nothing. What do I do? Do I just stay there until it's my stop forever? I just sprint out the train like.
Because you can't leave. You're on the train. You gotta get to where you're
On the
going.
train. I did go very far into the back of the train. I packed my things and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna walk towards the end of the fucking train. And I left at the next station. I was like, if I take the next train, I can still make it, I think. But I need to get off this fucking train.
Jesus Christ. I'm just imagining what goes through that guy's head. He just is like, oh god, I've been waiting to take a shit for the longest time. Sees SHYLILY walk out like good afternoon, and then just kind of walks out, goes somewhere else, and he's like, all right, time to use the bathroom, and he walks in, and a scene of devastation awaits him, nothing that he can do anything about.
A fucking crime scene, just like, oh my goodness, who died here? Oh, that is, yeah, not proud of it, but it makes for a great story.
Jesus Christ.
And now we're drinking the memories away, yes.
We'll forget about it someday.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Oh my god. I don't want to, but I almost do want someday to have a poop story that is on that level. on the level of being unflushable, immediately discovered by other people who you do not know, on a public transport where it starts to spill. There's something, there is clout to a poop of that level of catastrophe.
I just hope it didn't hit his shoes. Imagine. It's like when it's up in dog poop, except it's kind of worse when it's human feces.
Walks in there with his beautiful Gucci loafers and they get destroyed by some stranger's poop. Oh god. It just reminds me of when last night we were going to play some Overwatch to kind of break the ice before the collab, and I was like, yeah, you want to play some? And she was like, hold on, I'm taking a shit, give me a moment. And I was like, oh, I know this person, we must have met prior, a fellow shitter just like me.
It was my second day shitting that day. I don't know what I ate, but it just kept coming. It's just one of those days where it's just like, well, I guess there's no end to it. It's just I'm expelling the demons from my body. I'm just cleansing my body of all that's unholy.
SHYLILY wins the poop off. She certainly does. This bitch could poop harder than me.
I don't know what's worse, a stranger discovering a crime scene or just like staying overnight at your bros and being like, yo.
I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. I
clogged
had
your
to sit in the
toilet.
living room because I had never had to unclog a toilet before, so I had to wait for my buddy to go in there with a plunger and sort out the fucking mess that I'd made.
Oh god, it's crazy. I just recently discovered that outside the EU, not sure where exactly. I think you're British.
I'm
not
UK.
entirely sure.
Yeah, I'm British.
But it's funny because to me as a German, there's those things where when bullies bully people in a movie, they like dunk their heads in a toilet.
The
into
swirly,
water.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because in the EU, there's no way there's enough water to do that. You would just like smack their faces against like a fucking curb. But I discovered a couple days ago that in the US, toilets are filled way higher with water. So this whole concept of dunking people in the toilet made a lot more sense. Because before it was just like they just like smack their fucking skulls into the toilet, into like the what's it called, the porcelain of the toilet.
Yeah.
But no, I discovered it's just like, oh, they have lots of water in there. I see.
Yeah, it's weird. Like in the UK and I guess in the EU, like there's just a little bit of water at the bottom, and then it washes it down. Whereas I've been to America and they have toilets where it's just filled with water, and I'm like, what do you need that much water for? You're in so much more danger of receiving Poseidon's kiss that way.
Maybe they like it. It's like, ooh.
It's like, ooh, it gives me a little bit of a wake up in the middle of the day, a little bit of a pick me up. Ooh.
Good morning to you too. Thank you. Oh, homie. No homo. You take a shit and you follow it up with no homo.
Now, okay, let's wind it back a bit. A really nice sort of pedestrian question. What is a game that we both are obsessed with at the moment?
Oh shit, obsessed at the moment? Dude, that's funny because you say at the moment, so it has to be kind of Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't at the moment, I've never played an FPS. I'm not claiming I'm good at the game. I've never played an FPS in my life. Like, I suck dick. But your lord is very good at it, by the way. He's got the aim and tracking and everything, so kudos to him. Yes.
I don't know about that.
I, on the other hand, I'm a filthy casual. I cannot aim for it. I just play for the fun of it. I also mainly play tank because, for the most part, I feel like it leaves more room for error when you play badly.
Especially characters like Roadhog, you know, where you get into a bad situation, you're like, hold on, I'm just gonna, and you just gotta leave.
It's just like, I don't say I'm good, but tank leaves more room for error while still being somewhat useful. Of course, someone who is skilled would make way more use out of it, but Overwatch is the perfect game for degenerates like me who never played FPS games, so it's great. But if it wasn't for Overwatch, it would definitely be World of Warcraft and Genshin right now. Way too much into those two games.
Yeah, I used to really enjoy Genshin back in the day. I'm gonna remove the image of the toilet from the screen. I forgot about it.
It's on the screen.
I forgot to remove it from the screen. I was like, I'm so drunk. I just looked over. I was like, why is there a toilet on the screen? I was like, shit, that's me. And I just.
I never quite know when to stop drinking because I'm not sure if you're the same, but mentally I'm fully there. Physically, not quite. But mentally, I'm fully capable of everything I am. But, you know.
I kind of get that. Like, mentally, when you're drunk, you're just more of yourself. Like, you're just yourself, but you don't think twice about doing stupid shit, which I think is really fun.
So it's just like, yeah, I swear I'm there mentally. It's not too much yet. It's just physically where it's just like, oh, okay, it becomes laggy, you know, it's a little bit of latency issues.
I lag IRL a lot of the time. Like someone will hit me and I'll just only react to it like 3 seconds after it happens. I'll just be like,
Oh. Huh.
Everyone's brain has a certain ping, and I think my ping is at least like Australian ping level.
Australian pig. Dude, I swear. I love when I can show off with like one big play. I be playing friends. I do all them average casual ass players. But then you do one thing that's like, ooh, and I'm like, yeah, I meant to do that. Yep, I meant to do that.
That's me with every single headshot in Overwatch that I've ever gotten in my life. Like, I collabed, Mr. and I played Overwatch 2 on stream recently, and he was like, yo, get a headshot right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and on 1, I got a headshot. I have never felt more lucky in my life, because I can't get headshots normally. When I try and do flick shots or anything, it's like, it's just a complete gamble. I'm like, here I go, and click. Oh shit, I got it, okay. It's almost like when I'm not trying to get a headshot, when I'm just trying to like fuck around a little bit, and I'll be like, hey, watch this. Then I suddenly get one. But if I'm actually going for one, I can never do it.
I swear, not a single headshot in Overwatch, not a single one has been planned. They all just happen because accidents. I just fire, I just shoot my load somewhere in the general direction of people.
You might want, if you're shooting loads, you might want to be playing Torbjorn instead.
I fucking loved. I tried so hard yesterday when we were playing together to get play of the game by just hammering my turret. I was like, how funny would it be if the play of the game would just me be hammering the turret from the beginning to the end of the play of the game.
The amount of play of the game, the amount of Torb POTGs I've seen where it's just him sat behind his turret just hammering it the entire time, just waiting for something to happen. Or even better, when he dies in the first frame of the POTG and his turret just sits there and picks everybody off for him, and he's like, hard work pays off.
It's so good. I love that. It's like the biggest BM in life when that's the play of the game. Everyone's forced to watch, and then just like, oh god, okay, yep, bye, skip. Oh, it's so good.
So this is an interesting question. Where does Womp Womp come from?
Very simple answer. Maybe disappointing some people, but I had a subathon earlier this year, and I'm not sure if YouTube is quite as familiar with subathons. I'm sorry if I speak slowly, but that's because I have like this alcohol level where my speech
It's okay,
is
you
slurred,
take
and,
all the time you need. It's fine.
it's easier to talk slower because then the speech is still coherent enough to hopefully understand. But I had this subathon early this year, and there's only so many ways you can say good morning to your chat after waking up. I try to keep it unique. I'm like, good morning, or hello, or and one day the noise I made was just it's just a theme of mine. I just like to do noises when I don't know what to say. To fill the silence, I just go like boop, 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 wop, 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 womp, womp, womp. And that morning it was just womp, womp. Womp womp. Womp womp. And it just kind of became a thing. It's just I think you can relate because you have like, that's my girl.
Yeah.
Ryan, you don't decide what becomes a thing and what does. Your community does. And Womp Womp just became like a catchphrase. Which is funny because on TikTok there'll be some people who are like, oh my god, she's trying so hard to make such a cute catchphrase, and I'm like, I ain't trying shit. It's chat. Shut the fuck up. I don't decide anything. It's all chat.
It's all random. None of it is decided. We don't figure out what happens.
Yeah.
We just figure shit out and we run with it.
Yeah.
I think that's so adorable. The fact that the Womp Womp was just
Right.
something that happened one day. You just woke
Womp
up and
Womp.
you're like, Womp Womp. And then it just kind of became a massive thing. I really admire that.
I enjoy it too now. At first it was cringy, not gonna lie. I was just like, well, it's just a noise I made. Is it really gonna be like something that's... But, you know, over time you grow to like it still. I was just like, yeah, alright. I can deal with this. Womp Womp. Yeah, fuck it. Womp Womp. Let's go.
And then
I
Womp
like it.
Womp became a thing, and we love womp womp womp. It's really adorable. It's just womp womp.
Womp womp.
Okay, I found another really good question.
Oh, alright, hit
And this is like almost a mini game in itself. This is from Jade Oracle, who's a fan of mine. If you had the chance to name each other's next ASMR stream, what would the title be?
Oh, okay, wait, I'm gonna need a second though. I need something good. Okay,
We
your
have to think
next
about this.
ASMR stream shall be titled. Okay. Let me. Fuck, I don't want to have an answer and then go to bed and be like, no, I have
We need to figure out something good here.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's drunk me speaking, but I want pissing in someone's mouth ASMR. And Chad would just go like, "Thank you, my lord."
Oh, delicious.
Delicious, thank you, my lord. What a blessing, my lord. Thank you for the golden shower, my lord. I'm so sorry. I think it's the alcohol.
I mean, it's almost a step down from what we've done before, but to me, it's just, I think about that and I'm like, oh no. There ain't no way I'm getting away with that.
The golden shower. I mean, it's your stream. You say whatever. I'm pretty sure the stream is already demonetized. First of all, I'm sorry, but that's like the story of my content. Demonetized.
Fucking Finana just showed up in my chat and was like, golden shower? Yes.
Oh,
it wasn't me, it was her, okay?
Super off topic, but she is the one who made me discover NIJISANJI.
Really?
Yes, it was Finana. She was the one I discovered it for. I didn't know about NIJISANJI until her.
That is really valid, and might I say, it makes perfect sense as you are both very lewd fish themed YouTubers.
I discovered NIJISANJI through her. I loved her fucking attitude. It was like, yes, this is what I'm striving for. This open-minded, fuck everything. I'm gonna be lewd, cute, funny, whatever the fuck I feel like. That's what I'm gonna do right now. I love that so fucking much.
I'm third wheeling now. I'm just here to accommodate for you guys. she's flushing in my chat. She loves this.
And can you shut the fuck up, Finana? I'm sorry, you gave me the fucking. But for real though, I love the perfect, cute, and wholesome combination without having to be a niche of either. She isn't only fucking degenerate. She isn't only cute. She's just whatever the fuck she wants to be. I really like that. So.
I admire that too. I think it's rare because, especially in a community where with VTubers, it's so beneficial to market yourself in as in as approachable as a way of possible. Being yourself is difficult, you know, and it punishes you. You're punished for being yourself. But people like Finana and like you know, will always be themselves regardless of what happens, and I will always respect that. I think it's such a great way of running your business, and I feel like it only will result in good things happening, maybe a little further down the line.
I hope so. It's how I prefer it, and I'm pretty sure she too, but I'm only speaking for myself. I'll never speak on behalf of someone else, but with all the hate that comes from it, I'm just like, fuck it. You know how good it feels to go online and just be yourself? That shit felt so fucking good. Just to be there and do your thing without having to have a script, an idea of what you're doing. You go say hi and it rolls from there. It's really nice.
It's incredible because I think when I first debuted, I was very much being not myself. I was being very like sultry and soft and ikemen and very mysterious and hot and all that. It's like, that's not who I am. I'm a fucking dumb shit. I laugh about poop and shit and dicks, and I'm horny and I'm annoying and I like dumb games and I want to play Mario and go wahoo, and that's like the only thing I want to do. And I feel as though having people accept and love the kind of personality that you express when
you're just being yourself, that is like, I wish more people got to experience what that's like, to express your real self in front of thousands of viewers and have them all be like, oh wow, this is cute. You know, it's so unique.
Personally, I think it adds so much personality to just see a person have so many flavors to them. Just be like, oh, right now she's having a cute moment. Now it's lewd. Now it's like really serious, like deep talk where it's like, whoa, didn't expect that because she's always cute and lewd. And sometimes it's just funny and memey, and I love that. It's what I like more. It's what I like about the non-idol culture. It's so fucking funny to... I respect idols because I could never. But what draws me to non-idol culture is exactly that. Them having all the spectrums of a personality. It's so nice.
There's so much more to a person than just what they present to you.
Right?
You know, no person, even if they are an idol, no person will be exactly what you want them to be. There will always be little elements of flavor to them that you need to get used to over time. And I think that expressing that freely and openly is such a great way of creating content that's so unique to you. And there's nothing more gratifying, I think, than just trying to really get people to relate to what you love about yourself and for them to genuinely understand and be like, wow, you know, that is funny, it's cute, it's sexy. Like, have you ever been good at a video game and have someone call you hot for it?
Right?
I was playing Overwatch and I was being the IGL. I was shot calling people like, oh my god, he's so fucking hot. I was like, since when? Since when is shot calling in Overwatch sexy? But people are like, oh my god, he's so hot when he's shot calling his tank in Overwatch. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do it.
God, I had those. I had it literally just yesterday when I talked about why I don't want to be a mom. Not because I don't want to be a mom, but just because I don't want to make the necessary sacrifices I feel like I have to make. But if I would so happen to be pollinated, I would do those sacrifices. And people are like, oh my god, based. Yes, queen. Based. So hot. And I'm like, ooh, thank you. That's hot. Thank you.
Pollinated.
Yes, pollinated. It's like Adam and Eve, where it's just like, yep, I've been pollinated.
There's no getting out of it now. I suppose I will become a mother. I've always figured like eventually someday I'd want to become a dad, but it would need to be at least like 30-40 years from now when I'm like a very jaded old man.
Right.
To the point where like if every single thing that I needed to do as a young man is already dead and gone and all the way behind me, then maybe I could be a dad then. Maybe.
The thing is, as a dude, your seed stays potent for our
I was like, the thing is, as a dude, I was like, all right, what's you gonna say? Your seed stays potent. Jesus Christ.
You know, you can be a dad at 16 and 18. As a woman, you don't quite have that choice. You're only really potent up until a certain age. So at some point, if you do change your mind throughout your life, it's kind of like, now you're taking time bomb. Good luck getting pregnant, bitch. But it's still, yeah, I feel you. I don't see myself as a mom at all. And I'm afraid that maybe that opinion changes when it's too late, but then that's just how it is, I guess.
I think it's better to focus on how you feel in the moment, you know, rather than sort of looking to the future and fretting about, oh, will I want to be a mom at this point? Will I want to be a dad at this point? And then worrying about like your age and all that kind of stuff. I think it's better if you just focus on yourself right now, because if you really push yourself to have a kid when you're not ready for one, Jesus Christ, that's going to be bad for you and the kid as well. And whoever you have it with as well.
So, yeah, I feel like it's important to live in the now. To everyone, you don't even know what's gonna happen in 10 years. Fuck, you don't even know what's happening next week, man. Like, you should live in the here and now, my guy. It's important.
I am so not ready for a kid. I'm so not ready to have to be responsible for another person. Dude, I did a cooking stream recently where I fucked up making these graham balls halfway through, and like my kitchen is still in an absolute absolute state. I have been cleaning tiny bits of it at a time. Like, I vacuumed the floor to get rid of the excess graham crackers that had just been littered all over the floor. And after that, I looked back at it, I was like, I ain't ready for this shit. And I just walked away, and I'm just, like, avoiding my entire kitchen for this entire time. Like, every time I look at it, I'm like, another time. And I just kind of walk away and do something else. Like, I couldn't be. Still, yes, chat, I'm sorry to break it to you, but I am fucking worthless, and I'm sorry to break it to you like that. I am not a male wife. I'm a fucking dumbass.
It's like, I like when people see you online. Your persona, usually when you stream, you show the best of yourself. And people are like, oh my god, she's wife material. Or in your case, husband material. I'm like, god, I am a loser. I don't know how to cook. I've moved into my new place, which I love so much because it feels so safe. Like, I think 3 months ago, I haven't even unpacked, yet touched the kitchen just once. So I am not ready to make those commitments. And then people are like, are you old enough to have a drunk stream? I'm like, you know what? I want to be like, who do you think you are? Making assumptions. But then I think about the content I produce and I'm like, you know, maybe they have a point. I can't blame them for thinking I'm like a fucking 12-year-old. I can't blame them.
Be like poop shito memes, Lamau, just like, nah. And someone's like, so are you like 12 years old? And you're like, well, I mean, on the inside, maybe.
It's like, I guarantee I'm 5001. I am past below the age of drinking legally. I can drink.
Yeah, no, me too. As a 400-year-old, I feel like for me, the reason those memes make me laugh is the fact that whenever I see them, it's like, I don't know if you've ever met a Buddhist monk, but they tend to sort of be so enlightened. They've spent so many decades of their life meditating on the true nature of the world and eventually they become so, like, above everything that's happened that everything makes them laugh. And I feel like that's the way it is with me. Like, anything happens, someone argues, that like someone farts in front of me, everything is funny to me at this point. I've become so like hyper aware of everything that at my age I'm just like, so anything happens I'm like you know, it just isn't difficult at this point to laugh at everything.
Yes. It's like, people are like, Lily, how are you so happy? I'm like, I don't know, bitch, I'm easily entertained. What about it? It's just, I don't know why. I just laugh. I always laugh. I don't know why. I'm such a giggly person, but everything just makes me happy. I'm just always laughing, which can be annoying. I get it, but
no, I don't think so at all.
I have to say it. I do have a serious amount. So if a friend would hit me up and be like, shit man, can we talk? I would flick that switch and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to listen. I swear I won't giggle too much. You know, only when it's appropriate.
that would be a disaster. Like, someone comes to you and they say like, they hit you with like the hardest shit you could imagine. And then they sit there and they'll be like, yeah, no, my wife left me. My dad's going to jail. My mom is also going to jail. My sister is canceling me on Twitter, and you just sit there and you're listening to it, and then suddenly they see something that kind of rhymes with like shit poop, and you're just like, and then suddenly they're like, why are you laughing at me?
Well,
and then it becomes a whole problem. It's like, I opened up to you. No.
Oh god, I had that happen. I think like a few weeks ago. I use TTS. I'm a React Andy. Hello, everyone who just joined. I'm a React Andy, so I have TTS. And someone left a pretty heartfelt message, but the way TTS sometimes delivers it, 777 trillion, it just made it so funny, and it just the message was so heartfelt, but the way TTS delivered it, I had to giggle. And I'm like, I swear, I'm so sorry. I'm not laughing at you, just the delivery of all of it.
God. I just love imagining someone sending you a message and like expressing their love and being like,
I've been thinking about this for the last 4 years, but I wanted to let you know, SHYLILY, that I've never loved anyone as much as I love you. And it goes on. It's like, just kidding, 777,777,000. And it just becomes this whole thing. No, I wouldn't be able to take it seriously either. That's why I've never had TTS on for my streams, because people send me heartfelt, genuine messages a lot. And I feel like if it was in TTS, I'd be like, all right, you know.
I almost turned into one of those super chat Andes. I think it was like 2 months back or so. Was that too long ago? I think it was about 2 months back. I was like, oh, what's one of your streams? I was like, man, I want to send a super chat too.
No, really?
I want you to read it. When I was like, nah, I want to just sit here and lurk and say,
that's so sweet. What the fuck? I never knew you would have been a regular super chatter. That's really cute. What would you have said? What were you gonna say? What stream was it?
I want to say what I would have said, but in all honesty, I'm too far gone to remember. I don't know.
That's the
I
most
wish I could
problem.
have thought up with something cute and be like, I would have said this. No, I just don't remember.
If you ever remember, I would like to know, because that is very sweet.
To be honest, it probably would have been something thirsty instead.
No!
I wouldn't even have been sweet.
I would love for it to have been a classy, family-friendly, marketable super chat, but in reality, I was just down bad.
In reality, I was just down bad. I got called out so hard because I do this thing where I have a Reddit and people can post memes, and I 2, 3, whatever amount of times a week, I go through the Reddit on stream. And when a video plays, that's like an embed of YouTube. Once the video is over, it shows suggestions based on the account I'm logged in with. And I think it shows like 12 videos in the suggestions, and 3 of those videos were just your fucking ASMRs. And Chad was like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking? I don't know.
Oh my god, I'm so flattered but also scared, because I think when I make content like that, I don't really think about its reach. I just make it for my own fans, and then I don't really know who my like obviously I know the majority of like my fans and the kind of people that enjoy my content, but then suddenly it's like, yeah, no, this other person on the other side of the world you've never spoken to before, they like it and they've showed it to other people. I'm like,
That's how I feel when friends come into my chat. Shoto, I'm bringing the name up because I know he's a good friend of yours too.
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
in
of
my
course.
stream earlier, and I always like, I don't feel embarrassed about the content I produce, but I am very fucking unhinged. And so knowing he is in chat, I'm like, Shoto, I'm so sorry. I hope you don't think less of me, but I'm gonna talk about my shitting experience right now. He's just like saying hi. He's just like, hello Lily, and I'm like, hello Soto, and then moving on to like, so anyway, the consistency of my shit tonight. It's just like, I'm so sorry, Shoto. It's, again, I'm proud of the content I produce, but there's something about showing it to friends and family that just doesn't sit right.
yeah, oh god, my dear mum Akuma, she I had a chat with her recently, and she asked me to let my fans know that she said, yes, and please tell them, Vox, that I don't watch your ASMR. And I was gonna be like, because my mum used to watch all of my streams when I first started. She was she was fresh out of like she was going through some health stuff, and she's perfectly fine now, but she needed to take some rest for a while. And all that time she spent watching me and the other boys from Luxiem, and so she used to watch all of my streams. And then I started doing the ASMR, and she was like, I just want to let you know, I don't watch those, okay? I'm not interested. And I was just like, all right, thank you, Mum. And it just, something about that was so embarrassing to know that she knows it exists. And then occasionally she's like, yeah, occasionally she's like, yeah, no, she's like, I watched a little bit of it. And I was like, why did you watch a bit of it? No, stop!
It's so cute because you and I seem to have grown up very differently despite choosing a very similar path in content creation. Maybe it's because I'm German? I don't know. Germany is a huge country. I don't know all of Germany. But I like to believe that the way I grew up, I was very normalized, so like pee pee poopo caca avuga jokes. That's just the humor. People make those jokes, you know. And then I come online with my German as fuck humor and the way I was raised, and people are like, "Oh my god, she's humor baiting." I'm like, no, that's just that's literally the same humor I would say on the dinner table with my mom and dad, you know, my sisters. It's just that's just what we do. We are maybe a little bit too unhinged for the internet, I suppose. It's just our humor. We talk super openly and we just go like, shit man, my asshole itches, and it's just like, what did you say? And I'm like, wait, what's wrong with that?
Cultural differences are always really difficult to get around because like from you might have grown up in one place and you might have this really strong idea of like, oh yeah, this is good, this is bad, this is this, this is that, and then something in another culture might be really acceptable and something else might be really unacceptable, you know.
Right.
And it's really difficult to figure out like what it is, especially when you have fans from multiple different cultures, you know, trying to figure out what is what, who is who, when is where. It's just difficult, you know, to try and be approachable to everybody when so many people will see what you say in really, really different ways.
Exactly. It's a blessing and a curse because, you know, you bring your culture into the stream and some people accept it and some don't. But some people make it such like a personal thing. I'm like, I grew up like this. I do not deny I'm a LootTuber. I literally label myself as a LootTuber, right? But that's not my whole personality, and people think it's like such a personality act, like a spiel, and I'm like, no, I think it's funny. I laugh at poop and farts. I just think it's funny.
It's exactly how I am. It's exactly how I am. Like, I think, like I said, for me, it's like the sort of the contrast between very high-standing corporate VTuber channel and then on the other side posting about poop, farts, and dicks. I just think there's something really, really funny about like the dichotomy there.
I think that's how I found your channel to begin with. At first, I watched your debut. I watched almost all of Luxiem. I forgot which ones I didn't, but I watched all of these. I watched so many debuts in my lifetime, and I was like, okay, those people are nice, but I feel like after like a month or so of them making content, they let bleed a lot of their personality into the character, and that's how I got to know you, because at first you were like, okay, sexy, calm, well-cultured, articulated person, but then you became this meme monkey. And I was like, yeah, that's what I like.
It didn't take very long for the monkey part of me to come out. Like, I don't think any amount of like corporate pressure could make me put away my adoration for monkeys to the point where anything could happen and I'd be like,
I love it.
You know.
It's so good, and I love seeing just like, especially of corporate VTubers, because they tend to not have a long history of between debut and now. It's just like, you are famous now, and then you see that development from what they were supposed to debut as from a corporate standpoint versus now, and that transition is so fun to me to watch. Just seeing like how people evolve from the character they either, I have no idea how the corporate world works as an indie, but I'm just assuming either you choose to play a character or you're told to play a character, and then seeing how it turns out to be like a month or two, maybe 3 after, it's really fucking entertaining as just a viewer to see like the transition of those. I love that, and it feels so nice.
That's really flattering, and I can say that for every one of my corpo friends. The fact that like getting planted in a position of fame is a difficult thing to contend with, and a lot of us you struggle to kind of insert aspects of your real personality into that sort of a character, but when you do, it really takes a lot of the pressure off. And for me, I think that the similar experience from following an indie VTuber, or really, you know, any other YouTuber, is the fact that how much you evolve over a long period of time.
You know, you sort of begin in one way with a certain idea, a certain sort of thing, and then your mic quality improves, your model improves, your humor changes, you become more of yourself over a long period of time. There are some channels out there that have been going for decades, literally like more than a decade. You know, you've got some big YouTube channels like Markiplier, who's been going since the pre-2010s, and now all the way up in 2022, starting an OnlyFans and all that kind of stuff, and just evolving with the times, changing as a person, revealing more and more and more of himself every year. It's such an interesting profession where anyone out in the world can feel like they really know someone who makes YouTube videos, and I think that's such an interesting concept. You know, to kind of just put yourself out there, not as someone playing a character like an actor, but to be really known as someone for your real self, and for people to feel like they have you as a part of their lives. I think that's a good thing, and it's really interesting to know someone like that. But yeah, no, really interesting.
I like that a lot, especially as someone who came from... I played more or less a character. It depends on what you count as playing a character. I simply played more into my say-so parts, because when I got introduced to VTubing, I saw a lot of like those vulgar jokes and pee-pee poo-poo caca avuga jokes just ain't it. But I liked the idea of VTubing, so I just transitioned to VTubing. I figured, well, it needs to have like this high-pitched, cute voice and have say-so humor. But as someone who went through that phase, it's so difficult to play that part. I have grown so much more respectful of the people who managed to keep that up as their persona ever since, from start to finish. Cause fuck man, that shit hard. It's so difficult to not let anything bleed of your own personality into your character. And at some point I was just like, it was last year's Cyberthon, where being online 24/7 because of Cyberthon, I had like low-key a mental breakdown, because I could not play the character. I had no downtime, and I couldn't keep playing the character 24/7. And I had to just cancel the Cyberthon. I was just like, I'm sorry, but I literally had a mental breakdown, I think. And then I basically just transitioned into, well, sorry if you like it, sorry if you dislike it, happy if you like it, but this is a lot more me, not being all cutesy. Sometimes cute, I like being cute, but also just like all the other personalities I can be, you know? And it's been such a relief. Streaming was this part-time job that turned into this full-time hobby at that point, where it was difficult to keep alive for however long I needed to stream to fit the quota, versus now where that I can be myself. I can stream however the fuck long I want. I can stream all day every day. It doesn't matter, because I'm just being myself. And it's been so relaxing to make that transition where you play the character and you're just like, you know what, fuck it. And you just transition into, you know what, this is me, whether you like it or not. I respect that decision, but this is me. And fuck man, best decision of my fucking life.
I really respect that. I love that. And I felt the same way. You know, you go into it and you want to play a character. You want to be, like for me, I wanted to be this sort of super soft, super like hard-going Ikemen who's like, yeah, you know. But it's like, who I am underneath, I'm a fucking dumbass. I'm a stupid idiot. I'm vulnerable. Way too mentally ill to be handling all of this kind of shit. There's no way that I can keep up that kind of a job. And like being accepted for who you are and building an audience who loves you for the real person that you are rather than the character you present is nothing short of incredible, you know.
Yeah, and I feel like lots of people love you. I feel like lots of your success is thanks to that. Being vulnerable and being relatable. I feel like it's relatable. This idol culture feels like people are so out of reach. But then stepping over from idol culture to just being like a respectable person online, I feel like people connect to that, relate to that, and it makes you more likable, I think.
I think so too.
And I have chat things to say.
And something that I realized a long time ago when I was dealing with a lot of stress is that I thought about like, whenever I would look at the rain, if it would rain, I would always think like, yeah, you know, no matter what happens in my life, no matter what happens in anyone's life, rain is a constant. It will always rain in some parts of the world. And no matter if you're like a random guy who works in a coffee shop or if you're like a legendary celebrity on the level of, you know, meeting the president or whoever, it will still rain sometimes. And if it rains too much, you might not be able to do certain things. Everyone, I think, in that level is on the same level, and no matter what you treat yourself as, everyone's personality is as valuable as everyone else's personality, and I think that there's something great about interacting with a person's personality such that the real person they are comes out, and you don't have to worry about being this image that you think people want to see, because there's value inherently, even if what you are isn't perfect, there is value in seeing what you actually are. And I think people love getting to know the real you, and it's really nice when people want to go get to know the real you. It's very exciting to feel like people genuinely care about who you are.
That was really fucking well said. I think it's the charm point of people like you and me. We just started being ourselves, vulnerable or not, rainy and sunny days. I think that's kind of what made us any popular at all whatsoever. So yeah, well said. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Alright, we have been at this for 3 hours, and I think it might be about time we wrap the show up, because you've got to do your own stream after this, don't you?
Oh no, I had my stream before that. So
oh, okay. But still, it's been a long old day, and I think it might be time that we wrapped it up. But SHYLILY, thank you so much for coming out today. It was great to get to know you better, great to introduce you to all of my fans, and to really get to pick your brain and talk about all of these different topics. You were an absolute pleasure to talk to, and to really relate on a lot of these issues, and to chat about some fun stuff, share poop jokes, and everything like that. This is a really, really fun stream. I had such a great time, and I hope we get to hang out more, and I hope you want to join me for some other collabs in the future. So
I'll love to always. It's really fun. I like when people I'm a memester, so it's always great when people know what the fuck kind of underground meme I'm referring to.
Yeah, when you mentioned Peter, the horse is here, I was like, I know that one!
It's perfect. So I love to be a part of this. Chat's been fucking wholesome as well. I've been trying to read every now and then. Your chat moves so fucking fast, I cannot keep up. But I've been trying to keep up here and there. So thank you so much for having me, being nice. Chat's a fucking blessing. I hope you keep supporting me, Lord, throughout his journey. Good days and rainy days, all alike.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I hope that you guys will consider hopping on over to SHYLILY's Twitch channel and supporting her as well, because she works very, very hard as well and deserves all of your love. If you like my sense of humor, you're probably going to like hers as well.
Thank you so much. It was really sweet. Thank you so fucking much for having me. I don't know how you do your outros, to be honest. So
I don't really know how I do my outros either. I just fucking wing it. But yeah, thank you very much for coming, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope that you have one too, Lily. And I will see you at the end of the day, or whenever the I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I will see you later, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And that's all from me. So sleep well, rest up, and make sure that you don't drink on the regular as much as we did. Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for having me.